what are you doing?
What?
live! Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 47 of Anime Club After Dark's WTF series, a chance for us to get together live and talk about things outside the anime world that have been on our minds recently and to answer your questions from Discord. I'm your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai, and joining me tonight, I have our czar of source material, John.
What's up?
It's a good day, John. It's a great day. Yeah. Happy Juneteenth, by the way.
Happy Juneteenth, all.
We also have someone who is demanding $1 million. I don't know from who, but
Dr. Evil. I just got it because of the haircut. $1 million.
I was gonna say, you know what? I wasn't gonna draw attention to the haircut, but
got it
he's
3
bald.
hours ago.
He's bald.
Bro, I wish I could cut my hair. My hair is getting too long. I hate this.
Just go get a cut.
Scruffy.
What are you waiting for? Just do it.
I hate getting my hair cut because it's like I only shave it, so I don't want to pay somebody to shave my hair.
Bro, go get the fancy treatment. Get the face towel, get the creams, get
I'll
a
give
wash.
Fuck!
Bro, you gotta treat yourself. Make it a spa day. Get your nails done, get your legs done.
Bro, you telling an Asian to like splurge on stuff? Like what are you saying right now?
Yeah,
No, it's self-care. It's worth it. It's worth it, honey. It's worth it.
Hell no.
God.
Hell no.
Can we move on, please? To before John is actually forced to spend money from his wife.
That's a good couple's date. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing no.
Hello, classy Lizzies. Welcome to the stream. Keep your hair very long. Listen, I've been growing out my hair since Christmas.
Don't worry, classy. This will be back in like a week.
Damn. Your hair really grows quick if that's the case. But anyway, yeah, this is welcome to the WTF for the month of June 2024. Before we get into it and before we start answering the questions we have from Discord, I do have a couple of announcements I did want to make before we get into it. First of all, we're doing a new WTF. Oh, John's left.
Oh no.
I just found a fucking screw at my foot, and I was like, "What the fuck is?"
Your desk is gonna fall apart during this recording. I swear to God, it is.
That. Jesus Christ.
No, I think my cat likes to bring shit to my feet, and I think she found a screw and just brought it to my foot, and he just wanted it at my feet. I guess I don't know.
Hey,
bro.
Anyway, so we're doing a new thing for WTFs in the last few years. We've done WTFs where we'll stream it later in the week, like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then the following Monday we have it go out as like an actual episode of the podcast. Going forward, we're not going to be doing that. We're going to try out just having these as just streams by themselves. So hopefully that gets more people to actually come check out the streams here on YouTube. For people who miss it and for people who tend to watch our podcast and interact with our podcast via like Spotify on like the audio only stuff that we do, we will still be doing audio uploads of these WTFs, and they'll generally be sometime in the night after we record these. No guarantee that they're going to be up within a certain like number of hours, but it will be shortly after these WTF streams are done. So just wanted everyone to be aware of that going forward. Second announcement, and this kind of applies to Chinoda as well. Chinoda and I are going to be at Otakon.
We are?
At the beginning of August. Well, I am. I know you are because you already got your fucking hotel room.
Yeah. I have 2 hotel rooms.
Oh my God! Why? Why do you have 2? You're bringing that much shit? You need a room for your suitcase?
I am planning on cosplaying this time, but no, I got one for me and one for her friend.
Oh, okay. But yeah, we're gonna be at Otakon in Washington D.C. at the beginning of August, first weekend in August. So I am really excited by that. I'm sure you are too, Chinoda.
Fucking hype. Trigger's coming back, baby. Trigger's coming
back.
Yeah,
Trigger's gonna be there again. Natai won't be there this time to cut them off in the hallway.
It's fine. I believe the people showing up aren't the same ones as last time.
No, it's the ones that did Dungeon Meshi and the president.
Yeah, the president of the company plus a few of the animators that worked on Dungeon Meshi. So I'm sure there'll be a live drawing at some point during the convention.
God, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, and then the last thing I wanted to say is kind of something general that I do at the beginning of every episode. Please be sure to like this stream if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more. It really does help us out. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year here on YouTube. So every time you like it, every time you comment, not just on the streams, but on our podcast episodes that we upload, it really helps us out. It helps YouTube Sama push our stuff out to more and more people. That being said, let's get into the questions that we got from our Discord server for this month. Something else I want to point out before we get into these is that we have a lot of them, and we're not going to get to all the ones that were in our Discord server. In this particular WTF, I picked 10 for this one because we weren't able to do a WTF last month, and we kind of got a backlog of these questions. So
I'll go ahead and say this: the first 8 are from Classy Ulysses. Big shout out to you, my guy, and the last 2 are from New Vegas.
Yes. Classy is someone who's a very prolific question asker in our Discord server. So since he asked so many, I wanted to get to as many of those as possible. So yeah, if you didn't hear a question that you asked in our Discord server, this time we'll probably get to it next month. All right. So the first question, and like Chinoda said, the first 8 here all come from Classy. What is your favorite video game story?
So I'm probably gonna say Dead Space just because I love the Dead Space lore, like in general. I love Dead Space. It's my favorite game of all time. Mm-hmm. Though I do give props to Last of Us Part 1, or at least the first game, The Last of Us. I really like that story. I was really invested. If you guys couldn't tell by my rants about like the live action and about the video games, I haven't played number 2, and I'm afraid to play it because I've heard so many bad things about number 2, about like the casting direction. Like the reason the story takes a dive is because of like disagreements between voice actors and like the writers and stuff like that, or the Sony or something. And I'm just like, oh, I kind of just want to preserve the memory of The Last of Us by not playing number 2. It's like, oh man, Last of Us Part 1. I love that. I love Part 1. It's the best. Oh, it's great. But yeah, Dead Space for sure, because I love the lore. I love all the alternative media they've released for it that are all canon, like the rail shooter game, the movies, the graphic novels, all of it. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I know there's a lot of people out there, like a ton of people who love the first Last of Us game. I have never played it myself. I've watched people do playthroughs of it though, so I know the gist of the story.
I want to get the HD remake, but I believe the HD remake Part 1 is the only one that's released right now, so it's not even the full game that's released. I heard there were a lot of issues with it as well, so I'm just like, ooh, what happened, Naughty Dog? What are you guys doing? Like, it's just, we exist in an age where it seems like the only way to play the best version of a game is to have the original console it launched on, which really sucks because, 10 years ago, PS3s were
keep your hardware, boys and girls. Keep your hardware.
Christ. Yeah, like 10, 15 years ago, having a PS3, it's like, oh, PS3s, people are buying them for like $100. Now they're going for like $300, $400 each. And I'm like, geez, they're like the same price as a new console. Like, what the heck's going on here?
Damn, the aftermarket market for old video game consoles, man.
It's insane. It is super real. Insane. And it's like
there's a shit ton of niche stores that are specifically just for selling old games, old consoles, and they make profit every single month.
Nothing made me feel more old recently than hearing someone call the original Xbox vintage. My fucking god.
Oh god. I mean, it is at this point, but Jesus.
It is a vintage video game console, and I'm just like,
if it's over 20 years old, it's vintage. If it's over 100 years old, it's antique. It's an actual like term. Like, they actually mean something. When something is vintage, it means at least 20 years or more older. And if something's an antique, it's at least 100 years or older. That's an actual thing. I learned that recently. Because I was like, is there a difference? Like, yes, there is. I'm like, wow.
I learned that on Antiques Roadshow a long time ago. That there's actual meanings behind those words. Yes, I have watched Antiques Roadshow. Shut up. I'm not that old.
No, whenever I travel like between the eastern and western Washington, we always pass by a city called Thorpe, and there's a place that sells cherries and stuff. And also on top of cherries, there's an antique store there as well, where they sell like just a bunch of old shit. So it's just like, oh, what's the difference between an antique? I don't know what that is.
23 years old and sweating. Yeah, me too. Except I look in the mirror, it's like 34 years old. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm vintage.
About to become an antique.
Yeah. For my favorite video game story, John's probably gonna
Mass Effect.
you know what? I was gonna say
nothing wrong with that.
I was gonna say, in terms of like a sci-fi story, that might be my favorite in video games, but my favorite video game story is probably Fallout New Vegas. I love it. It may actually be my favorite video game of all time. If it's not, it's damn close.
I mean, considering how many times you've replayed it, wouldn't surprise me at all.
Between the original console release that I played and playing it on PC, I have done at least 30 or 40 playthroughs of New Vegas.
So ever since Fallout 4 came out, I have gone back to replay Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. And I will definitely say, like, Fallout 4 is a great game, like, in terms of gunplay and graphics. I definitely did not enjoy playing it more than I did Fallout 3 or New Vegas. It's kind of weird.
See, Fallout 4, to me, it's a good game mechanically and visually, but story-wise, it's just not there. It's not engaging.
Yeah, I feel like it for a game that has such updated graphics and gunplay and stuff, and like the whole legendary system and stuff that it has now, it didn't have as much of an impact in terms of like story setting. Like Fallout 3's story setting is pretty stupid as well, because the original ending that has to be fixed with
the DLC.
I don't remember which DLC it is. The first DLC.
The one with the Brotherhood of Steel one. What is it called? Broken Steel?
Broken Steel. It's
Yeah.
Broken
Yeah.
Steel.
When it's like, yeah, you have two companions who could literally not die from radiation, so you can just send them. Like, that was the biggest oversight in my opinion. But I really still liked Fallout. Like Fallout 3, to me, first of all, I didn't even realize that it was Liam Neeson that plays your father in Fallout 3 until
so
like
cool.
I was watching, because I've been consuming so much after watching the Fallout TV series. I've been consuming so much Fallout content. I almost like got suckered into playing Fallout 76. Not gonna lie.
Oh, you
Almost
got
had you.
so close.
Almost had you.
John, I'm very proud of the restraint that you showed there.
It was hard. I was like, oh god, I just need to consume Fallout content right now. I've watched all the videos, and I like Rad King and who else was the John the West? I don't remember. But yeah, I was like consuming too much Fallout content made me want to play all the games again. And I was like, oh, I've never played 76. Maybe it's better. Maybe it's good. Who knows? But yeah, it's like Liam Neeson's your dad in Fallout 3, and I'm like, I remember playing Fallout 3 and never realizing that's Liam Neeson, like, ever.
Do you want me to blow your mind about something else with Fallout 3 that you might have never realized?
If you say Ron Perlman is the guy who says the war never changes, I knew that.
No, God, I think everyone
knew
knows that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he doesn't say it in the Fallout show.
I was waiting for it.
I was waiting for a voiceover with him.
I thought he was gonna make a cameo or something when they're in the offices, when they're like, when they said the line, they said it, and war never changes.
Like, how cool would it have been if he'd have been like one of the dudes in that meeting scene in the final episode, and he just like, because war never changes.
That would have been amazing. I would have been like, 10 out of 10, standing ovation.
It was so cheesy, but that would have been amazing.
But the thing that'll blow your mind is, canonically, the player character is meant to be mixed race, because there's a deleted item in the game that shows a picture of your dad and your mom is black.
Oh.
I guess you never do get to see your character.
Yeah.
Until you like get killed.
Well,
but,
and you
like,
never see your mother's face, because this game starts when you're born.
Yeah. There needs to be a Fallout game before the Great War. Isn't Operation Anchorage that?
Yes.
Operation
In
Anchorage
Fallout
does
4?
take place
Yeah.
before the Great. Well, I mean,
you're like in a
gameplay
simulation,
itself,
right?
Yes.
Is
Fallout
it in 3?
Yeah.
Is it in
Yeah.
3?
Yes.
Okay.
Did I say 4?
I said 4. I thought it
No,
was
he
in 4.
said
I don't.
4.
But yeah, Operation Anchorage takes place, or at least the events of that simulation you play take place before the Great War. Yeah, what's your favorite video game story, Chinoda?
I am flip flopping. It's either Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 OG or the original Dishonored. Or not
Dishonored.
original, Dishonored. Yeah.
Dishonored is pretty good.
That is an old game. What happened to Dishonored? I remember 1 and 2 were like cult classics.
They are
And
cult
then,
classics. Yeah.
Like it disappeared from the face of the earth.
They just haven't touched it again. That's all.
Hey, sometimes
they
all you
released
need is
the
2
DLC.
games and you're good.
No, 2 games plus 2 got a DLC called something of the Outsider, and it was very
What's
popular.
the studio that does Dishonored?
Part of Bethesda's
Is it
Arcane.
Is it
pretty
Arcane?
sure.
No way. No way.
Let me check.
Yeah, it
Arcane.
is made by Arcane Studios, published
Okay.
by
Wow.
Bethesda.
Okay. The same guys who made Prey and the same guys who made, was it Redfall? Was that the other?
Yeah, that was their
Unfortunate.
that was their flop. Actually, wasn't Arcane closed recently?
Arcane Austin was.
Austin, yeah. I don't know if Arcane proper has been shut down.
No, it hasn't.
Okay, so it's still around.
It's just one of their subsidiary studios that got closed down.
I got a fun fact about Arcane Studios. So
okay.
the game Prey was not originally a game they were going to be working on. I believe it was Bethesda that got the IP rights to Prey, and it had been through like 10 other studios prior to that before it got put onto Arcane. And then they were just like told, hey, so we have this IP. It's from an old video game that's kind of like BioShock, but not BioShock. Or not what's the one before BioShock? The one that
System
inspired
Shock.
System Shock. It's kind of like it's based on System Shock kind of. So make video game. And Arcane was just like, well, fuck, we don't know what we're going to do. Let's just do whatever. And that's why they made Prey. And it's an amazing fucking video game. Even though the campaign is only like 15, 20 hours if you take your time. I've seen people do speed runs and beat it in like 15, 30 minutes. Because,
what the fuck?
Well, because you can... the thing about Prey is that there's not a lot of replayability because everything is always where it's at. So once you know where everything is, you can kind of just like go through and do stuff. Orc
says Austin was the one that made it.
Yes, Arcane Austin made Dishonored.
Oh shit! So it was them that got canned. Damn.
But they have another studio. It's called Arcane Lyon, which is based in Lyon, France. They're still going strong as far as I know. They are, and as
they
Orc points
canned
out,
Prey 2? That's unfortunate. I mean, listen, Prey 1 was it wasn't supposed to be a hit. Like it was literally just a game that was like, hey, make a game. So the guys were just like, fuck it, we'll make a game.
and it
Like,
worked.
we have nothing to and it worked because they just made a game that they thought was fun, and it was a very fun game. But then like, even though there's no replayability in Prey, I've played it for like 80 hours. I've replayed it about 4 or 5 times just to do different routes and stuff because there's no new game plus or anything like that. But it's like this is one of the video game series that I tell people about that's like, this is what I mean by making a game that's good. It doesn't have to be a fucking long RPG game. Like I feel like Fallout 4 is a long RPG game for the sake of being a long RPG game.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the same amount of quality as like Fallout 3 or New Vegas did. Like they don't get me wrong, 3 and New Vegas also have a lot of depth to their video game. It's also long and there's a lot more depth to it. But the story is simple and it's fun, and that's the thing. It just has to be a fun time, right? It's the quality is what people is gonna make of it. So for Arcane and how they did Prey, they focused on the quality of it, and it sold. I believe it sold pretty piss poorly. I don't think it
really.
I don't think Prey 1 sold very well.
But it was a cult classic. That's
it
why
is
I
a
got
cult
so
classic,
popular.
but the problem is like at the time I remember people complaining that it's only a 15-20 hour game for $60. And it's like, okay, yeah, I think it's harsh to ask for $60 too when your game is only like 10 hours long. However, I think the quality of it matters quite a lot. Like for example, Dead Space 1 remake, the quality of it is up there, and I can speed run that bitch in 6 hours, right? So sure, it's like not worth it, but yeah, that's just how I feel about it. But yeah, it's crazy.
I did look it up. I did look it up. Prey between PC and PS4 sold roughly 1.3 million units.
Huh.
Yeah, and how much did it cost to make it though?
That I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they broke even.
But
I just thought it was hilarious that Bethesda was like, "Here, make game," and Arcade was just like, "Fuck it, all right."
All right, we ball.
All right. Well, moving on then, I guess, to the next question. I had to write the answer to this question down for myself. What are your top 5 MILFs from anime? I wonder who asked that question.
All right. So,
Resident MILF lover.
my problem with like trying to answer this question is when I think of a MILF, I think of hot anime moms in my area, right?
Yes.
Local hot anime moms in my area
moms.
Single moms, right? To be honest, there's only probably 2 that I can name. I don't have a top 5 because there's not a lot of MILFs that I'd like. I want to play pocket pool to. You know what I'm saying? Primarily like Hinata, like no contest,
no shot. I mean,
no shot. Like she's number 1, Hinata.
Hinata number 1.
Hinata number 1. Sakura, no.
I like how all of his MILFs are from Naruto.
It was a good MILF show.
Tsunade is not even a mom. She doesn't count as a MILF.
I mean, she got that body though.
Yes. But
lost his train of thoughts.
Well, I was gonna say when we were talking about it earlier during the pre-roll, I was like, yeah, I can think of like other anime moms that I'm like, oh yeah, I love, but then I'm like, but to play pocket pool too, it's honestly just Hinata. Like I don't think about it that often.
I mean, it's a good choice. It's probably
it's
the best
gentleman's choice.
Mad Moxie, if you want to count video game girls, I'll say Mad Moxie.
Yeah.
I mean, Hinata is on the top of my list. Like the list I wrote down, Hinata's right on top. I mean, I'll go over my list because I actually have 5 that I came up with. So Hinata right at the top. Then of course because please step on me. I got Tomo's mom from Tomo-chan as a girl because listen, MILF plus tomboy, I'm there for. I'm just there for it. Something topical, Zenith from Shoku Tensei.
Okay, yeah.
And lastly, because I've just recently been rewatching JoJo's Part 2, Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa's a really good one too. All
right. Let's see. My list.
Surprised you didn't say like Holo or something.
I mean,
she is
spoilers.
We all saw the remake in the first episode. We know who that is.
See, listen, Holo has Lawrence, and that's all I need for her.
You mean Kraft?
Yeah.
Is her name now Holo Lawrence, right? Because his
that
first name is actually
that
Kraft
would be her
Lawrence.
married name, yeah.
Huh. That is a weird name.
Yui's mom. Yes.
So obviously a lot of overlap. Hinata from Naruto. You're from Spy X Family. Shuko from Komi Can't Communicate. That's Komi's mom. Excellent woman. Might get some hate for this, might not. Hana from Wolf Children.
Man, you aren't near hairy enough for her, man.
Yeah, I know.
You don't have that wolf dick. She needs wolf dick.
Yeah, I don't have a knot. Can't do that.
Aida,
And
welcome to the stream.
Aida. And for the final, Misuzu Misaka from A Certain Magical Index.
Man, I feel like that is a series that doesn't get anywhere near enough love, although JC
Because
Staff
the
didn't give
anime
it near enough
fucked
love.
it. The anime fucked everything.
Man,
about
how are you
it.
gonna say you're gonna do a complete adaptation, and then when you get to the most exciting part, say animation? What the fuck is that? I don't understand.
It also took him like 10 years to do like season 3, so
I know.
it's a huge gap.
You get to World War III and make it seem so boring.
It was boring. God, they skipped so much.
That's not a bad list, though, Chinoda.
Yeah, thank you. I actually thought about it. That's why it was taking me so long. I was actually thinking about it.
See, I was going to like those ranking websites to look at like top 25 MILFs in anime, and I'm just like, I don't like any of these girls. So
Yeah, fuck you, bro. I actually gave it some thought.
Bro,
I
you were
gave it
reading
thought.
And it shows actual MILFs too.
you were reading off some of those things that you found on this list, and one of them said Revy, and I'm like, Revy's not even close to a MILF. She's hot, she's a great character, but she's no MILF.
She has MILF energy, but
No, Balalaika is more of a MILF than Revy. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe, she is. But hold on, both of them can have MILF energy.
No, friggin' oh my god, what's her name? Roberta? Roberta has
Roberta.
more MILF energy
Yeah.
than Revy. She got maybe crazy older sister energy, sure, but like nah.
Actually, yeah,
Yes.
you're right. That's the energy she has.
There you go.
That's it, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Revy's a great character, but she's not a MILF.
Yeah. Next
all right.
question.
Next question. Again, comes from Classy.
Aaron Yeager's mom.
For the 15
Yeah,
minutes that you know her, yeah, sure.
Yeah. For the 15 seconds she's on screen, yeah. What is a movie or TV show that had a promising premise but ended up being a big letdown for you?
All right, I actually have 3 shows for this that I fucking love and hate. Mostly hate now. Game of Thrones. What a fucking letdown. Holy shit. I watched for years. Goddamn years. I even bought the fucking books. I have the collection. And the show flubbed it so fucking hard. And I don't mean just at the end. I mean, when they started diverging, oh my god. As someone who actually read the books too, I started hating. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing?
Can I just say, the people who watch Game of Thrones and it like that aren't weebs, and complained about the ending, I'm like, now all of you motherfuckers know what it's like to be an anime fan whose anime adaptation of their favorite fucking manga is for a manga that isn't finished.
MHA or no, FMA.
FMA.
I can't. I didn't research this one, but honestly, Dexter. I really liked Dexter in the beginning.
Yeah.
And the ending kind of just fucking sucks. Dick.
I know what you're. For a second, I thought you meant Dexter's Lab. I'm like,
No.
God, what?
No.
The ending to that was actually pretty decent.
I kind of want to watch the new Dexter show that they put out, but at the same time,
There's a new one. What?
Oh,
There
bro,
is a
you don't know? Yeah,
There is a sequel series, and it sucks.
Oh,
I kind of want to see it just to.
I mean, yeah, I still kind of want to like.
Time.
Yeah, I still kind of want to watch it, but another one that I thought it was an interesting premise, but after the first episode, I was like, this show fucking blows huge dick. It was one that the Sci-Fi Channel did. It was like their take on Van Helsing, but like post-apocalyptic Van Helsing. Basically, the premise was that Yellowstone, the big one happens finally, right? Yellowstone blows up, and it covers the world in ash. And because it's covering the world in ash for the next like 500 years, vampires are like, hey, cool, the sun is weak enough now that we can come out here and we can start fucking shit up. So like, it is a Helsing story. It is a Helsing story. So there is a hunter lady, and she's part of the Helsing family, so she's supposed to be the super hunter. She does not spend any time actually being a good hunter, and I hate every single fucking character in the show. They're all shitty. They all suck. I fucking hate that show. But the premise itself, I was like, well, I love Helsing. I love the story of Helsing. Like, I like watching Helsing, the movies. So anything with Alucard in it and Van Helsing, like sure, whatever. But yeah, it was terrible. There's another one that I really liked the first season of, something Shady Pines.
I know what you're talking about.
It's one, basically the premise is that these people, they came to, I believe, they're on Earth and they're in this village, and then like you don't know that in this village strange shit happens and they don't know why it happens, and they're never allowed to go outside. And then it turns out like, oh, they're actually the mountain is actually a secret research organization. They've been actually in an experiment this entire time. They're humans from like 5,000 years ago or something that cryo slept into the future so they could outlive like these monsters, but these monsters evolved and turned into something else. It was actually really cool. The first season was really good. The second season was freaking garbage. Oh my! But that's because this, I believe it was based on based on a novella. The first season of the show, and then the second season is just kind of just made up bullshit. They literally kill off the main character from the first season in the first episode of the second season.
What? That's ballsy.
Wow.
Yeah, they because again it's based on a novella and they followed it pretty well, and the novella is pretty good. So I liked the first season, but then the second season just fucking like, oh, we're doing a whole different thing, and it's like, this is dumb. I hate this show now. So
oh my god, Supernatural. Yeah, I watched it to completion. It peaked at season 5. There were a couple of good seasons here and there afterwards, but like
I tried
season
watching
5
Supernatural. My younger sisters were binging Supernatural, and I watched a couple episodes, and I'm just confused the entire time. My wife was watching with us, and I'm just like, all right, why is this happening? Why is he doing that? And it's just like, well, you got to go watch the other seasons. I'm like, wait, I don't understand what's happening. The show kind of sucks. It's like, you can't start at season 3. And I'm like, why can't I just start at season 3? I don't understand.
Oh,
if it's a good show,
why would you start at season 3?
Because that's the season my sisters were on that we happened to watch. Okay.
Well, no wonder you're confused. You started.
I know.
That's not fair. That's not fair at all.
But yeah, I wish I remembered what this TV series was called. Something Pines, Shady Pines, Shadowy Pines.
Well, while you look that up, I'll say
I'm gonna
other
look that
two.
up.
Or Alex, do you have something you want to say before I say mine?
I mean, I do have one in mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
So there's back in the day, I say back in the day, 20 years ago, Ronald D. Moore did a remake of the 1970s sci-fi series Battlestar Galactica. That show is really, really good. I highly recommend you watch it if you haven't.
I own it digitally. It's fucking
I own it. I own the fucking Blu-ray set. I love it. I actually have the original Battlestar Galactica from the 70s on DVD too.
Holy shit, what? Really?
I love Battlestar Galactica.
Yo, you should preserve those.
The remake is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's its own thing. And it's also pays a lot of homage to the original series. Now, after that series ended, they also did a prequel series called Caprica. And the premise to this is really, really good. It's supposed to show you how the Cylons came to be, which is the Cylons are the major antagonist in Battlestar Galactica. It's so boring. It's so fucking boring.
Unfortunately, I can back him on this. The execution of Caprica was not great.
And the crazy thing is, the first episode of Caprica is really fucking good. All the rest of the episodes of that season suck major ass.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just
it's
how
like,
it turned out.
The crazy thing is, like, they could have told that story in the course of like a TV movie, like a 2.5 hour long TV movie, but they stretch it out over 12 fucking episodes. Or is it 10 episodes? I can't remember how long it was now. But it literally only needed to be like an hour and a half, 2 hours long at most. And they just stretch it out with this like meaningless family bullshit. And I'm like, I don't care.
I have a feeling a lot of suits were behind that decision.
Maybe. But the premise is so good. And the execution sucks.
Yeah. All right. So my last two shows,
before that, the show that I was talking about is called Wayward Pines.
Oh, Wayward Pines.
Wayward Pines.
Yeah,
Okay.
directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh,
And you lost me.
yeah. It's like
He didn't write it. He just directed it.
Oh, okay.
Or no, co-produced. I don't think he actually did anything like for it. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. The pilot
Okay.
was directed by M. Night Shyamalan. I don't think
Okay,
he
you
directed.
might have me there. I fucking hated his writing, but like
Yeah, he just-
directing wise, he's actually talented.
He only directed the pilot of the first episode of the first season.
Oh, that's
this
fine
might be an unpopular opinion about M. Night
Alex.
Shyamalan,
Alex.
but I actually really like the movie Signs.
Oh.
They're weak to water.
Listen, I like it for the same reason I like H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. The solution is so simple, but it works.
How did the aliens not realize they were the air was poisonous to their lungs? They landed and invaded, and then 12 hours later, they're like, "Oh shit, bro, this is
We can't
poison."
breathe.
Like,
I don't-
it took you 12
I don't
hours
know.
to realize that. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
The
And the
story's
fucking
about
signs.
hubris.
Why would they? They're weak to water. They go to a planet that's 70% water, bro. Those are
whole
the
thing
dumbest
doesn't
fucking
make
aliens
sense,
I ever met. Like, what the fuck? It rains all the time, man.
You know, you say that, but humans, if we were exploring the galaxy, would do stupid shit like that too.
Yeah, but we do it on purpose because we're dumbasses.
If I was like, hey, what's their atmosphere made of? Oh, that looks like it's made of phosphoric acid. Like, huh? That probably would kill us. Maybe
Let's
we
go
don't
land
there.
What's our filter strength? How many replacements do we have? Can we go?
It just doesn't make sense to me why the aliens would do that in either of those franchises, but whatever.
Hey, listen, there's a line from that movie I still quote to this day anytime I see someone killing a bug. Swing away.
My last two shows. The Blacklist.
That had a lot of
Okay.
promise.
It had promise. It was an okay show. It was about this FBI or CIA, one of the three-letter agencies. It was her first day, and like this major criminal turns himself in and like says, "I'll only talk to her," and like whole fucking story spawns after that, and it just goes so many different directions. I eventually lost interest, just stopped watching between seasons because I forgot to check it out once it came back. But after a while, I was like, years later, I saw that it was still going. I'm like, the fuck? How are they getting so much content out of this?
Can I tell you what the biggest problem with that show's writing ended up being?
What?
Is that the writers and creators of that show paint the main criminal guy, the villain, who's ostensibly the main character. They paint him as the smartest person in the world, and often he's just portrayed as smart as the writers know how to write him.
Yeah.
Tip to every writer out there. Stop thinking you can make characters that are the smartest person in the world, because you can't. That character will only end up being as smart as you.
And you'll show your hands real quick if you try hard. And the last show I have, another CW show, actually. You
Green
used to watch
Arrow.
a lot of...
The Flash.
I've watched all of them, yes. They were okay.
I got
Some
something
bad,
to say
some
about
good,
the CW after he's done with this.
Okay. The show I'm talking about is called The 100. Man, it actually had promise. The story actually sounded kind of cool. Space colony of people living in space. World got like nuked and all that. They were up around Earth orbiting, and eventually they had to come down to because the space station was failing, they had to come down and start living there. And turns out there were survivors. And it just goes from there. The story sounded so cool. It had promise and everything, but CW had to shit its fucking diapers so fucking quickly, and I'm just... It had promise, it had cool things, and then they were like, instead of ending it, they were like, fuck it, let's take it to space. And oh
Don't
my
like Trigger.
god.
Yeah, like Trigger?
Yeah, actually. take it to space, go to other planets. I'm like, y'all could have just ended it with humanity being destroyed, Earth being destroyed from radiation. But
You know what
no,
other series I really liked, but it also really fell off? Lost. But I feel like everyone
Mm.
liked Lost too, and it just really falls off after like,
Lost
season
was such
I've
a
heard this
like
so many seasons.
phenomenon
yeah.
when it was airing, and it's like now no one talks. Same with 24. 24 was a huge phenomenon when it was.
I
when it was on.
remember. Yeah, it was like an event every
Yeah,
time.
no, I didn't watch Lost when it was popular. I watched Lost later because I was like, I remember people were talking about this like 5 years ago, and no one talks about it ever since it stopped airing. So I'm gonna watch it. So then I watched it, and I was just like, I can see why people like this. It's like it's very interesting. I've always liked thriller like whodunits, like trying to figure out like, oh, what's going on in the background. I love shit like that, right?
Yeah.
That's why I like watching mystery anime and mystery stuff in general because I like trying to puzzle piece the shit together myself.
You like to think.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. But then you get to like, was it season 6, the last season, and it's like, what happened here?
It's like they forgot. Like, what are we doing?
It's like they didn't write this show with an ending in mind. They wrote
didn't.
this. They wrote this show to try to milk it as long as possible until they got canceled. Then they had to end it.
So I want to bring up something really quick since he mentioned the CW.
Okay.
So you know how the CW is kind of branded as like this. It has a lot of DC shows on it now, but it's kind of branded as
Used
like
to.
the hip. Well, used to. It's kind of branded as like shows for the young adult demographic, or even like
Sure,
teens.
yeah.
Yep.
The only CW show I remember, like very vividly growing up, was the Superman one.
Which one? There's been several.
There's been several. Oh my god.
There's been several, bro.
Smallville.
Supergirl. Oh,
Oh,
Smallville.
I remember
Yeah.
Smallville. So I
So-
remember that.
What is the weirdest like off-brand thing you can think of that they would be putting on their network on a regular basis, like every
Archie.
year for the next 7 years?
Archie.
I don't. Archie? You
Well,
think Archie?
no, it's not Archie, but I can tell you that starting next year and until at least 2031, the CW will be the exclusive home for the NASCAR Xfinity series.
I'm sorry, what?
I just
What?
I can't imagine what demographic they're going for here, but
I
sure.
don't think the CW knows what they're going for, to be honest.
The CW hasn't known what it wants for a very long time.
I
but
can tell
this
you
is
exactly
just-
how much
what?
they paid for it, though. They paid $800 million for this TV deal.
How the heck do they have so much money? Jesus.
I have no idea.
What? 800.
So for 33 weeks out of the year, from starting next year through 2031, there will be NASCAR racing on the CW.
I mean, that's one way to get people to watch your watch your
I
channel.
guess.
I mean, I don't. Whatever.
What
I
the
guess.
fuck?
Why would ESPN
Anyway.
sell the rights to that? I don't. Whatever.
You know what? I'm not gonna money.
ESPN has their own like freaking networks and stuff like that, and they're also owned by like Verizon or something. think
Yes, no,
that's the-
ESPN's owned by Disney.
Oh, that's right. It's owned by Disney now. Oh, maybe that's
Although I
why.
don't
Maybe
know
Disney
for
was
how
just like,
much
I don't
longer.
care. We don't care about this. Sell it.
Anyway, moving on to the next question. What's your favorite type of burger?
I mean, like esoterically, like physically, like what do we mean by favorite type of burger?
Well,
like
bro, the
chicken,
question is-
beef, pork, or like
It can
Bro,
mean
what is
whatever
your
you want it to
favorite
mean.
burger? Jesus, don't make this complicated. What's your favorite
no,
burger?
like there's more answers to this. Like, is it my favorite beef burger? Is it my favorite like fusion
What's
burger?
your favorite
There's-
fast food burger?
Oh man, have you guys gone to Red Robin's?
Yes.
You guys know what Red
Long
Robin's is?
time ago.
There's a Red
Okay,
Robin not
so-
too far from where I live.
I like going there because on my birthday I get a free burger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your birthday month, you get a free burger. It used to be the hangout spot because we'd order a basket of fries for like $2-3. Then we'd split it between the 4 or 5 of us broke high school kids. So it was the spot, you know. We get waters and French fries for $5, and we split it all like $1 each. The best hangout spot after school. But I really like their Pig Out Tavern burger.
In-N-Out burger. There you go.
I've never had In-N-Out.
Neither have I, but I had people
It's
tell
good.
me it's really good.
It is good. I've had it multiple times now. It is good.
But yeah, the pig out, specifically the big pig out, where they get the bigger bun, because you can. The normal one is like a double patty and it's like tall. I hate tall burgers. I like wide burgers. Like, don't make
Yes.
your burgers tall, make them wide. Come on, guys.
Yeah, big burgers should be wide, not tall.
But yeah,
Tall
I
just makes it
really love that.
unstable.
It's like my favorite. In fact, I kind of want one right now. I think I might order.
Watch 45 minutes from now, he's gonna be eating one because he ordered it on DoorDash or some shit.
No, all he needs to do is turn to the side. Hey, wife, order burger.
I'm getting kind of hungry. Like, oh, man, are we talking about food right now?
Yeah, I know.
But the Royal Red Robin burger too. It's basically it's a basic burger, like lettuce, tomato, onions, ketchup, but it has an egg, like a sunny side up egg on it.
Ooh.
Amazing! Oh my god!
Oh,
Whoever
listen,
thought
I love
of adding a
I
sunny
love
side up
putting
egg
fried
to a
eggs
burger,
on. I love putting fried eggs on burgers. It's so good.
freaking amazing, dude. Like I don't know who decided this, but it's great.
It's so good. It's
What
so
about
good.
you guys? Favorite burgers?
My favorite fast food burger, probably steak and shake. I love Steak and Shake's burgers.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I also like the fact that I can get a damn good milkshake there too.
Well, you know what? I don't
burger
think
and
Red
milkshake.
Robin's is a fast food burger. That's more of a sit down restaurant.
It is,
is.
but
'Cause if we're talking fast food, like I love eating Whoppers. I don't know why. You know why I like eating Whoppers? I was instilled into eating Whoppers by my father growing up.
Wait, what?
'Cause
Okay, what's the
after-
story?
No, just every time we went to go play like baseball or did sports, like my dad would always take me to go play sports with him. And after that, we'd always get like Gatorade. We'd get Gatorade to go play sports, like do whatever sport he wanted to play that week, like whether it was soccer, baseball, football, doesn't matter. Whatever sport my dad was into, I'd be with him and doing it. And then afterwards, we'd always get Burger King, and he'd always get me a Whopper. I'd always get a Whopper. So to me, that's like, I like eating the Whopper, not only because I think it tastes pretty good. Like I know other people think it's garbage. I don't give a fuck. I like Whoppers. And I associate very good core memories with eating a Whopper.
I like
The meal I had with my father after bonding, so.
I liked Burger King more as a kid than I do now, and I think it's just because as a kid, it was because I was always with somebody when I went to Burger King, and that's really why I like it.
Yeah, like it's more like nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
I would say the Big Mac, because I ate a lot of Big Macs growing up, but I got food poisoning, or not food poisoning,
Oof.
an intestinal infection or something,
Jesus.
Yeah,
Gastroenteritis or something?
I don't remember what it was called. Basically, for like a month and a half, it was just all liquid water. There was some bug.
Oh.
I got some bad bug from eating
Yikes.
Big Mac. Now, to be fair, this Big Mac has been sitting out for like 12 hours, and I ate it anyway. So,
That
you know,
sounds like
lesson
it's your own
learned.
fault.
Yeah.
I was
No,
gonna
it's
say, like-
100% was my fault. My brother-in-law came home, and he bought me a Big Mac, but I didn't know. Then I woke up in the morning and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, cool, Big Mac." And I was like, "Yeah, no, it smells fine. I'll eat it." And I ate it, and yeah, no. Now I'm
Fuck
traumatized forever. Now I don't ever want to eat a Big Mac ever again in my life.
For me, look, the question was asked, "What's your favorite burger?" So I didn't do this whole restaurants thing. Give me a double bacon cheddar cheese with a melty egg on there, some tomatoes. Give me some fancy mustard, not the Heinz crap. I mean some good mustard, and we'll call it a day.
So you just
Heinz
like a
makes
simple,
mustard?
basic burger. Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
Heinz make
Heinz makes-
mustard?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
bro.
make ketchup.
They
I mean,
do.
They make a lot of condiments.
Oh, they do. Yeah, you're right. Because I have the Costco pack comes with a mustard and a relish.
Yes.
I completely forgot about that.
I have never heard of a Freddy's steak burger, but I would definitely try that. It sounds good.
Yeah.
Chicken
I
sandwiches,
will say
yeah.
that. I will say this. Not ordinary beef though. I like bison burgers.
Oh, bison burgers are like really good. I had
There's
that
a
about 5 or 6 years ago for the first time. Bison burgers are pretty tasty.
there's a place
Yeah,
like
bison's really good.
7 minutes down the road from me, and they do a all bison menu. Oh my god,
Man,
amazing!
I don't know what it is. Bison might actually be my favorite type of game meat that I've tried. All right, I guess we'll move away from food so John doesn't get too hungry and eat his table there.
I'm starving, bro. Like,
all right, next question. What video game made you a gamer?
now,
Good question.
I don't like this question.
It's a good question.
The reason I don't like this question is because it's too
Vague.
and it's too vague, right? Like, what made me a gamer, right? Like, I don't know how to answer that for you. I don't know what kind of.
Well, I can tell you how I would
is.
answer it. I can tell you how I would answer it because I will answer it by saying the first game I played was the original Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Genesis. That's what got me interested in games in the first place. What I feel made me a gamer was playing Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Because if we talk
Good
about like
choice.
my very first video game that made me go, "Oh my god, video games are fucking awesome," was Pokemon Blue. I had Pokemon Blue, and
On the
that
OG
was
Game
like
Boy?
on the OG Game Boy. Or actually, no, I had a Game Boy Pocket. That was my first like console too, a Game Boy Pocket. So I would say Pokemon Blue. In terms of like what video game got me addicted into playing video games all the time, like I got sucked into playing MapleStory for like 7 years. It was my very first MMORPG that I ever got sucked into. And I spent a lot of time and money like just playing this freaking video game. So like I would say, for that got me the most addicted. But in terms of like investment for like I like video games now, like story wise and actual like play wise and stuff like that, Dead Space, because like I've said, Dead Space is my favorite game. You can watch our streams and stuff where I just wax poetic about how much I love the systems and all the stuff that they introduce. Like the game design is fucking peak, the story is peak, everything about it. Dead Space 1 and 2 is peak.
And in how fact, it fell off so bad in 3.
Dead Space 2 was the very first game I ever did a platinum, like 100% achievement on, like in my life for any type of video game. Prior to that, I didn't give a fuck about doing achievements and like playing the game until like there was nothing left. But Dead Space 2, bro, I played the absolute crap out of it.
The first game I ever 100%ed after they brought in like achievements and stuff was Fallout New Vegas.
No surprise at all.
And yes, I have gotten the Caravan Master perk.
Wait, which one is that?
That's where you have to win 50 games of Caravan.
Oh, it's that freaking card game, yeah.
That Caravan is the like card game no one knows how to play in New Vegas.
For me, now I've been playing games a very long time. Like the first game I remember playing when I was very young was Space Invaders on an arcade machine. And this was while I was still back in Sri Lanka. I was a little kid.
I thought you were going to say it's back when you were a fetus.
No. So I've been playing games for a very long time. But I didn't really start getting into them until Pokemon Red.
See? Pokemon, told you.
I started like I got into elementary school, all the kids were playing. I'm like, all right, like let me see if I can convince someone to get me a Game Boy. And I did. I started playing and I'm like, holy fuck, this is fun. This is cool as shit. But what really made me addicted, same as John, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That is the game that on the 360, that's when I really started playing
on
video
that
games.
Day, he became a uber racist.
Bro, those COD lobbies were built different. You had to be built. You had to.
Listen, there was nothing like those OG COD lobbies. People like 12-year-olds hurling the most heinous shit. Oh my god.
I learned so many different euphemisms. I learned so much hate language. It was great. I bonded with so many different types of people and we hated each other equally. It was amazing.
That's why I like recent games like Apex Legends. They were the very first game that brought the smart ping system. where it's like, depending on the situation, if you hit the ping button, it'll do call outs like enemy here, I'm watching here, like let's regroup here. It had a ping wheel and all that stuff. Instead of just like having a marker, it actually had actual call outs. And because it had actual call outs, it's like, I don't have to be on a fucking microphone. I can just ping.
I can mute these.
I can, and I'm just like, oh my god, I can just mute everyone in my lobby. I don't have to listen to my fucking randos. It's a beautiful thing, and every other game started copying them. So it's like, as much as people want to hate on EA, I mean, it's not much of an EA thing, but want to hate on BRs and stuff like that. Like Apex Legends did a lot for game design, like they've always done, because Respawn, the company, like did so much for game design, like with Titanfall. Very innovative studio, or was like. Most of the original people have gone now, so
I will now. Here's one thing that I don't like about that. Because of stuff like this, you don't have a lot of people playing on comms anymore, and I feel like that's led to a decline in the social aspect of the gaming community, which is a shame in my opinion.
I don't think that's good at all, because let me tell you about listening to armchair experts doing shot calling, and they're the worst fucking players around, dude. Like, actual dog water skill people are always the ones who are like, listen to me and I'll help you win. And it's like, you are absolute dog shit at this game. Like, I'm actually master ranked, okay? You're fucking hard bronze, I swear to God. And you think your callouts are making sense. And it's like, no, you just fucking suck. That's why I think it's garbage, and that's why I don't listen to comms.
I will say I kind of get what Shinoda's getting at, though, because despite all that, like despite what you're talking about, John, I do remember there were lots of like multiplayer games back in the day, like especially when I was playing Halo back on like 360, right?
I view it differently, man. So the reason why I have to make a distinction is because when you enter professional play, when you enter like ranked play, this requires actual teamwork and communication.
Oh, absolutely.
Like when I played Counter-Strike and I was serious about scrimmaging and playing against other people, I had, not only did I scrimmage and play 12 plus hours a day, I focused on my communication skills because this really mattered. So I have a little bit like more experience with trying to go professional and shit like that. So people who are playing, who one, don't even have the skill to back up what the fuck they're trying to tell you to do, and two, don't understand what the fuck they're saying when they tell you to do things. Like, these people, like, if you don't have any type of ability to play professionally, if you've never done tournaments, if you've never done, like, an actual, like, fucking ranked play and gotten to high placement ranked, I don't think I need to be listening to you as my shot caller. Like, that's, like, for example, they call them IGLs, right? In-game leader. Your IGL is your shot caller. He's going to be the one analyzing the situations, understanding your rotations, understanding where you're fighting, understanding how good are these guys, how much supply do we have, how soon can we take them out, like stuff like that. It's very...
That was beyond reach.
Yeah, so I'm like, this is very important. It's very sweaty, okay? So for smart pinging, playing in pubs, I feel like I love that. It's great. I don't want to communicate with people who play pubs and try to do that shit, because I'm like, first of all, you suck. You're actual dog water. Like, I'm not saying I'm great or nothing, This is why I don't play IGL. I'm not the shot caller. I'll make suggestions like, hey, we can go over here, guys. I'll listen to people if they make suggestions, but when it comes to like actual playing these games, like FPS specifically, there's so many kids with huge ass fucking egos, and they're just dog water at the game. They're absolute, like, just shit. I hate that. And that's why I don't think it's necessary that I have to have a microphone to have fun to play this game.
John,
hold on, because I'm going to completely forget what I was originally going to say. Like, I'm not even talking about skill. I'm not talking about professional players. I'm talking about, like, just the idea of talking to the people you're playing with. Because, like, when I was playing like Halo back in the day, and I would get on like random matches and lobbies with people and just hook up with random people that I'd never met, never seen before, might never see again. There were hours and hours where we'd be talking to each other, not just in the game, but in between in the lobbies, setting stuff up, where we'd go on and have these great conversations. I might never talk to these people again, but the conversations were fun.
Yeah, like that meme, like last online 7 years ago, and it's just like,
bro, hey. That's so fucking real. You don't understand. That's like more than half my friends list now. It hurts funny? To look at sometimes.
You know
Bro,
what's
I
funny
feel like
is
there's people on my friends list that I know have passed away. That I'm just like, every time I log in and I see their gamer tag, I'm just like, oh, this sucks. Like you're not around no more.
I have that on my because I still have my Xbox One, and I use it now mostly to watch stuff like Netflix streaming, and I use it as like a Blu-ray player.
Yeah.
And my cousin, who is dead now, and I were friends on there, and I have my friends list automatically organized by whoever was last online the longest to go is at top. So he's always going to be at the top.
Bro, pain.
It's pain. Yeah.
Yeah, he died back in 2011,
Oh wow.
2012.
Wow.
Yeah, so but he's still on my friends list.
Yeah,
Microsoft hasn't gotten rid of his account.
I can't find it in me to like delete these people that I like, friends,
I'm
old friends that
I'm
we used
just
to play a lot
surprised-
of games with, and
I'm surprised as inactive as the account has been, it just doesn't get deleted.
Yeah, they do have a limit where they will delete an account after a while. So
I just know that if
don't
I
know
ever
why.
log in and I don't see his name up top there, I'm just like, they finally got it.
Which I understand because they're trying to reclaim gamer tags and all that and inactive accounts.
right, yeah.
Yeah. So I get it. Now, John, I do understand what you're saying, but like you're focusing more on the gameplay aspect. I'm completely talking about the social aspect
Just
and
the social aspect,
community aspect.
Yeah,
of it.
listen.
There are people
me
who
playing-
have like lasting friendships.
I
and
don't think you
relationships.
understand. My comms back when I played in Call of Duty lobbies and shit were most of my friends list were people who shit talked me, 1v1'd me, lost super fucking hard, and then added me because they wanted to pub stomp. That is my extent of people who add me as friends on PlayStation.
so fucking hard.
You don't
They're
understand
like,
how
"Daddy?"
many people were. Yeah, no, like people would fucking dick ride you when you fucking stomp them. Okay,
I know.
it's
I
insane.
remember. It was so fun.
It's like it happened in Titanfall, it happened in Black Ops 2, it happened in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. I'm just like, so to me, comms is always just a means to an end. It never meant anything other than like I use it to either shit talk people or I'm doing like actual call outs if we're playing an actual game in a ranked setting, like a competitive setting.
I can
Because
respect
other than that,
but-
like I've never had a game where I played with people and it's like, oh, we're all having fun. Oh, it's like I've never had that. I can
feel
honestly
sorry for you
say-
because
I feel sorry for you if you've never had that experience.
like so much of my friends list is.
I feel like the
literally
part of
from
that is because I love FPS games. I get super sweaty at them. So because my skill level rises exponentially, like the type of lobbies I'm in exponentially increases. So I don't have that casual aspect anymore. Even though I want to play casually, I can't. It sucks.
But see, like with what Chinoda's talking about with the social aspect, I can't count the number of people I've talked to over the years who met some of their best friends ever playing games with them, and they were just talking on comms. Hell, Vix, who makes a lot of the art stuff for us, she met her husband on comms through WoW.
It's hilarious.
It's
They were in the
absolute wild
same
shit.
guild and just started talking.
Like you never
You
know
know-
where these relationships you form online could lead, and
I
love that.
All right, this is really funny. If I had a nickel for every time I knew somebody who actually got together playing WoW, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot.
Really?
But it's kind of weird that it's happened twice.
Wait, is this including Wix or someone else?
This is well, now that I learned about Vix, now I was like, well, now I know 2, and it's like that's kind of weird.
But
It's-
I
mean,
lots,
I get
lots
it,
of people
like,
become
yeah.
friends through stuff like that.
yeah. Like I feel like
Hell, some
lot
of
of
my
games-
oldest friends are because of games.
I mean, when I used to do competitive stuff for like mobile games, we'd have servers and like line chats and stuff like that. When I was a ranked guild person and like top 500 in the world for US market and shit like that for my shitty mobile games. Bro, I don't think you guys understand how competitive I am.
No, trust me. I've played games with you. I know.
Yeah, we know.
We know.
Anyone in our Discord who's played with you knows.
We know.
Only Jacob would know, and that's because he wants to challenge me to games, even though he knows he's gonna lose.
Listen, he's a masochist. What can I say?
Yeah.
All right,
Listen.
next question. Which isekai protagonist powers would you like to have for a week if you could? Easy, Shadow, because I want the Deus Ex Machina.
I would love to be Momonga from Overlord. I'd love to be Ainz, so I could play. If I could role play as a level 90 wizard in a world where their maximum level is hard capped at 60, I would roll the fuck out of everybody. Like, quite literally, I'm 30 levels higher than all of you. Here's Chain Lightning 5 times in a row, bitch. What are you gonna do about it?
Do you know what Momonga's isekai power is? It's just Uno reverse.
It literally is.
No, his isekai power is that he's literally level 90 when everyone, or level 100 while everyone else is level 60. Like,
he's like reverse all. There is no challenge too great for me.
have you ever played an
am a
MMO?
robot.
Like, people in MMOs, you can't overcome a 10 power, like a 10 level gap. So what would a 30 or 40 level gap do? It's like literally he'd be a god in your eyes.
And he is.
And he is.
Yeah.
You know what? Give me generic isekai protagonist number 53's cooking powers. We'll call it a day.
Okay.
I thought you were about to say isekai smartphone. Like, give me a smartphone in
Oh,
my
God,
isekai
don't
world.
insult me like that.
I know. I thought he was going in a completely different direction. I thought he was going to say, give me my generic isekai harem, please.
Oh, no.
That'll be my superpower.
Ugh.
Give me
All right,
slime girls all day, baby.
Next question. What is the best TV show or movie sequel? Terminator 2.
Oh, this
I mean,
is good.
When I read this one, I said Terminator 2 because I feel like, again, 90% of people would agree Terminator 2 is way better than Terminator 1. That's like no contest. However,
I'm pretty sure 90% of people would say Terminator 2 was the best of the whole franchise.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Easily.
that's fair. It's because it turns into shit. But I don't remember what was the other thing we were talking about.
Well, I
There's
can tell you what
another-
my actual answer for this is probably Godfather Part 2.
Oh yeah, Godfather Part 2 is real because that's
It's such a good movie.
that's because that's when he starts
No
getting
spoilers,
the
no
revenge.
spoilers, no spoilers.
You don't even know what we're talking about. It's
I-
How have you
on
not
the
seen?
list.
Have you not, bro? They do Godfather 1, 2, and 3 movie nights all the time around the U.S. Like, you have no
Yeah, they
excuse to
probably do.
not go to one of them. Literally,
Okay,
Lacey went to one last year.
You know what?
God.
You know what? Hold on.
You can skip the Godfather Part 3 though.
I don't think you should skip part 3. I have come to terms with it. Part 3 is actually good. Okay?
Okay.
It's good.
know what?
It makes the story go full circle, bro. It's full circle. But best
Revenge of the Sith.
TV
Oh god.
best TV show. Oh, I remember it.
What?
I said the best TV movie sequel, or no, the best movie sequel was obviously Shrek 2.
Yes.
no
Shrek
contest.
2.
No contest.
Have you guys seen Neurosama recently did a watch party? They were her very first one, and they watched the original Shrek. My god, that was a fever dream. Watching an
No.
AI comment on the original Shrek movie.
Yeah, I don't watch any Nero stuff.
Oh,
To be
it
completely
was a
honest
fever
here,
dream.
it keeps recommending Nero clips to me, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not very interested in that.
Well, you've
so
said
I
it
just
twice
go
now,
past.
so it's gonna recommend even more.
Oh yeah,
Your phone is
obviously.
listening.
Oh yeah, everything's listening. He's literally
Discord's
projecting
listening.
his, yeah.
Yeah.
In my opinion, first of all, Revenge of the Sith wasn't a sequel movie.
I mean, it was a sequel to Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, it was a sequel to that, but we're talking about the second. And in spirit of that, I have to say either Empire Strikes Back or Star Wars Rebels, which is the sequel to the Clone Wars.
I don't know what any of that means. So
I mean,
Empire Strikes Back is the second Star
This-
Wars movie
second in terms of like,
when it came out,
when it came
Okay.
out. Yeah,
okay,
movie
it
number
is the
5.
fifth
Yeah.
movie overall.
I hate
in
that I have to ask
chronological
that
order.
because like it's
Yeah,
so,
I know, it's-
so
No,
annoying.
it is.
It's not great. But the general consensus among pretty much all Star Wars fans is that Empire is the best.
Now, I don't consider it to be the best movie, but I can of the of all the movie sequels, I consider it to be like probably the best. Although the Two Towers was absolutely amazing, but that's not fair though. The Jackson trilogy, it's built different.
Yeah, and by that we mean very long.
I like
Very
Return of the King a
excellent.
lot. What?
What do you say?
The
But
third
it's
movie.
that's the third movie. It's not the second.
It is
movie.
a sequel.
I know, but I'm saying like, okay, and I thought you meant. Never mind. I forgot we're still answering that question. I was
Yeah,
like,
oh,
of
yeah.
the three, I like Return of the King the most. So like, I don't.
Yeah,
what do
but
you mean?
The Two
Oh,
Towers
yeah.
is still a sequel to Lord of the Rings.
Oh, The
You know,
Dark Knight is the sequel. Yeah, it's the Joker's in the second one. That's
oh
a really
yeah,
good one,
that's
too.
that's
Yeah.
a good sequel too. That Nolan trilogy is good all around.
It's excellent in my opinion.
Yeah, you mentioned Empire. I'm gonna go with also Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Phenomenal sequel.
Oh yeah, very famous.
Trying to think if there's any other sequels that are like significantly better than their original movie off the top of my head. With Shrek 2, I mean, you can't get any better than Shrek 2.
Like you really can't, dude. Like that's peak.
I think
Shrek.
cinema really peaked with Shrek 2, and it's been downhill ever since.
I'll do a
I
2-hour
believe
deep dive.
didn't Shrek 2 come out the same year as Revenge of the Sith?
Did it? I don't know. 2004.
I don't. Didn't Revenge of the Sith come out in 2004?
I don't know when Shrek 2 came out. I'm gonna look that up.
God.
Oh, I was right. 2004. God,
Yeah.
why did I remember that off the top of my head?
Oh my god. Did they actually that was a good year for movies then. Fuck. 2005. Oh, okay. Revenge of the Sith came out in 2005. I should have remembered that. I was in high school. Yeah, I can't think of any other movies off the top of my head that are like sequel movies that are significantly better than the original. We've kind of mentioned all of them.
Yeah, I can't think
At
of
least the good
sequel
ones.
shows.
Yeah,
Sequel
I can't,
shows.
sequel TV shows. I really don't think there have been a lot of phenomenal.
There hasn't. It's very few.
Well, would you count Better Call Saul a sequel?
Yes,
TV
it is
show?
actually. Yeah,
Because
that is.
it's
Isn't
from
it a
the
prequel, though?
perspective. Well, it covers stuff that happens before Breaking Bad, but it's you see oh my god, what's the guy's name? The actor's name, Michael Gill, whatever.
I don't remember his name.
Saul. You see Saul after like the events of Breaking Bad. That's when it takes place of Better Call Saul.
I thought
It's
that
flashbacks.
was before.
No. Better Call Saul is flashbacks of Saul after he escaped from the whole fucking fiasco. So it's the show mainly centers around stuff that happened before, and it does this weird thing where the filter is whenever you see that weird grainy filter, it's actually in the present instead of the past. And when it's in the past, it's like just there's no filter.
Yeah,
So it reverses it. But
it's
technically,
kind of both at the same
technically
time. I
speaking,
guess.
we're viewing it from his memories. So
Yeah,
because it starts off with him in his apartment, like
Yeah.
after he escaped and like tried to lay low.
I guess it's technically both a prequel and a sequel.
So it's like it's hard to say
At the
because
same
like
time.
most of the story takes place as a prequel, like before he becomes Saul
Yeah.
Goodman.
I guess
But-
if we want to count that though, that's probably the best.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's best. I wouldn't say it's better than Breaking Bad, but it is a really good sequel. I really liked it. I know some people had some problems with it, especially with how it ends and stuff like that. But I'm like, it comes full circle, and we get to
I
learn
haven't
like
finished it. I need to.
I
need to
I
go
liked
back.
it. I honestly did. It's not as good as Breaking Bad though, because Breaking Bad just ends so fucking well. It's so well written with like Walt and shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of other TV shows that I've watched like season 2s of. Like, I recently watched
No,
season 2
not
of Jack
sea-
Reacher.
Not
Yeah,
season 2, but like sequel.
Oh, sequel, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gotta-
sequel
like, it's
series.
Series. Yeah, then
Now that's the problem. A lot of things don't.
A lot of
have
things don't really
sequels.
get sequels. Yeah.
And a lot of like supplementary series that come out from other series end up being prequels.
Yeah.
not sequels. Like you look at something like Young Sheldon that ended recently. That's a prequel to The Big Bang Theory, ostensibly.
I really should watch
Yeah.
Young Sheldon. I hear people
I
really
hear people
liked it.
say it's a lot better than Big Bang Theory.
Well, it's not a. First of all, it's not a rom com or it's a sitcom. So that's one thing that's different about The Big Bang Theory. And
I know. Justice League
Okay.
Unlimited.
I don't know what that is a sequel to. Justice League.
Justice League. Yeah. The
Yeah.
original Justice League cartoon had 2 seasons, and Justice League Unlimited had. Let me check.
In the
3
same vein,
seasons.
Shinoda, I could say Batman Beyond.
Oh my god, Batman Beyond was
Batman Beyond was phenomenal.
different.
Yeah, but Justice League Unlimited was way better. Like Batman Beyond is good. Don't get me wrong, but
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying Batman Beyond is a sequel to the not the original cartoon Batman, but what is it a sequel to?
The animated series.
Batman the animated
Batman the
series.
animated,
Thank you.
yeah.
Spin-offs like Stargate Atlantis or Stargate.
Yeah, there's a
I
bunch
haven't
of
watched Stargate yet. I need to.
there's a bunch of like spin-off series as well. I mean, I guess I could say like Star Trek: The Next Generation is a better series than the original series, but it's a continuation. It's not really. I guess it is a sequel in that sense, but
No, I would consider that a sequel.
I feel like we should have done more research for this.
I should have looked at TV shows because movies is easy for me, but TV shows not so much.
Yeah, I don't really watch too many sequel TV. I can't think of any off the top of my head at all.
Class Ulysses will stop you right there and say Star Trek Into Darkness really sucks. Fuck you.
This man almost started a holy war.
All those J.J. Abrams movies suck. Although the original
Look,
2000
wait.
Star Trek 2009 isn't so bad.
Let's not start giving Jar Jar Abrams credit.
Yes. All right. Let's move on to the next question. What is the
I'm
most?
looking
talking
at
about
this.
this for a
I'm
while.
looking at this list of like sequel TV series. Right, that '90s show, fucking terrible. I heard Cobra Kai is pretty good, and that's a sequel.
I've heard
but
a lot
it's
of
a
good
sequel
things
to a
about it,
movie.
It's a TV series sequel to an 80s movie.
Yeah, so it's like whatever. And then all the spin-offs of The Walking Dead. I don't give 2 shits about that. Yeah, I like all these things that I'm reading off of this. Like I really don't care. Planet Sheen was god awful.
Oh, I forgot that happened.
Oh, Ben 10 Alien Force. It's technically a sequel. Yeah, Alien Force
was
is really good.
amazing.
Way better than the original. Okay, I can say that. I haven't watched Legend of Korra, so I can't say anything about that. I hear a lot of mixed things about Legend of Korra, so I don't know.
Someone who has watched it, there is good and bad about it. Original is better, but like the sequel expands on a lot of stuff, and it is pretty cool. But there's a lot of valid criticism.
Yeah, there's just not a lot. For some reason, Yashahime is here on this. It says American TV series sequels, and it's like Yashahime. I'm like, why is that on here?
I mean, it is a sequel.
it is, but like, it's not American. I don't understand. Why is? Oh, Google AI, you're so funny.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Anyway,
we should move on. What is the most interesting place you have ever visited or wanted to visit?
I can't think of much. I haven't been to
What
too
a
many
homebody.
places. Well, I've been to like
We're weebs. We don't go out.
You've been to Florida twice.
Yeah, I've been to Florida, been to DC, been to Cali a bunch, been to Oregon. I've been to Thailand, like all around Thailand, Taiwan, Korea. But like, I haven't gone to too many places, so and none of them are that interesting. Like, it seems super stupid, but I want to go to a lot of touristy spots, like the Grand Canyon, the Great Wall of China. I want to go to Antarctica and go like see some penguins.
You want to go waddle with the penguins?
Yeah. See if they have some happy feet or something, like just really touristy stuff. I don't really know. Like I haven't been to anything that I think is that interesting. In terms of like, wow, this place is amazing. I don't know.
I can tell you my answer to this is pretty easy for me. Costa Rica. I've been there a few times in my life. I've enjoyed myself immensely. There's a lot of Americans that live down in Costa Rica. American expats live down there. I have heard both from expats themselves that live down there and the locals in Costa Rica themselves that there are entire neighborhoods where it's nothing but American expats. And if you have even a modest middle income job and you save relatively early in your life for retirement, you can live pretty comfortably down there for retirement if you move down there. And it's easy to get citizenship.
Yeah, you just pay them.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's there's only like, I think there's only 3 countries that let you pay for citizenship and you don't even have to live there, like around the world. There's a bunch of countries that allow you to get citizenship by just paying, but you have to also live there for like half the year.
There's a place here in the United States that you can pay to have citizenship in.
What?
Where?
Key West.
Oh,
You could actually buy a fake Key West passport to become a citizen of Key West.
That doesn't make you an American citizen, though, so what's the point?
No, but Americans can buy it. I mean,
Why?
it's not
Stupid.
it's not an actual passport. It harkens back to the whole thing back in the 70s, I think it was, when they tried to secede from the country.
No.
Yeah, there was a border check, well, not a border checkpoint, but it was a checkpoint to find drugs that were being funneled into the United States, and it was the only way in and out of the island, as you can imagine. And it made these insane backups. And they're like, well, if we're gonna get treated like this is a border, like a border crossing, why don't we just become a separate country? Look up Conch Republic. That was what they called themselves.
I certainly am not going to do that. I don't.
No, if you
care.
ever get some free time, it's a very interesting. It's a very interesting story. A lot of
like,
characters involved in that.
Yeah, I can't say I've been to too many places, enough places around the earth to be like, yeah, this is super interesting. Because I don't think any place I've ever been is that interesting. Like, I've been to the top of Mount Rainier, and it's not that interesting. It's top of a mountain.
it's a mountain, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's a mountain. Like, who cares?
I mean, I don't know if it's interesting, but I think all of us on this podcast want to visit Japan at some point.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just want to go
Oh,
there
absolutely.
to eat food. I want to try legitimate ramen from Japan, like the best quality one, so I can say without a doubt, yeah, I went to Japan and tried the best rated ramen there. I still think ramen is trash, so I will validate my opinion.
Wow.
I'll
asshole.
I will literally go and have what the world considers the best in the best place to get it, and I will tell you my opinion that it's still trash.
Yeah, fuck the temples, fuck the culture, everything.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
just
don't care
going
about
for
any
the
of that.
ramen.
Yeah, I'm only going for the ramen to prove everyone wrong.
Listen, you could have your minority opinion, my dude. It's fine. We all have our minority opinions.
Listen, ramen is overhyped as fuck.
Oh, there's better pasta and there's better noodles out there for sure, but it's not bad. Do you have a specific place in mind, Shinoda?
Yes. I've been to a lot of places around the world. My back when we were still in Sri Lanka, my mom used to work for the Sri Lankan Airlines as one of the people like that works at the counter, and because of that, she got free tickets every year to just go places. So that's what we did. So growing up, I was traveling a lot of the world, but one of my absolute favorite places in the world is New Zealand. I love the country so
I want to do
goddamn
the
much.
Lord of the Rings hike thing.
That is where I'm actually leading to. I have been to Hobbiton, and it is so fucking beautiful over there, and it's magical just being on the set where things happen, where everything starts. I'm just like, this is so fucking cool. I'd love to go back there again, just to see that again.
Not a bad choice.
Yeah.
Not a bad choice. Sell all your stuff, sell your home and everything else, then travel the world. If only it were that easy.
Yeah.
You still got to make money to keep traveling. And then you have nowhere to come back home to.
Just live in hostels forever. What are you talking about?
Okay. You still got to make money to live in those hostels.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
like
the thing. If you sell everything and travel, spend all your money, if you have family that are willing to take you back in, you can just live with them for a little bit while you
Uh,
make your money back.
yes, it's exactly what I want to do. Impose on all the people who love me so they don't love me anymore.
Well, I
Look,
mean,
a lot of
I
people
had
do
a
this.
coworker. I had a coworker. He loves traveling the world.
Mm.
Like that's all he does. And he was here in America and stayed here working at my previous job for like I think 2.5 years, saving up money. But basically, he was like, "Yeah, this is the longest I've ever been in like a single position because like family stuff came up." But like what he does is he just travels around the world and basically just like when he comes back from wherever he's traveling from, he'll just stay with like family or friends and he'll
Mm.
work like side jobs or like go do different things to make more money and then he just does that. Like he just likes traveling the world. And I'm just like, that's like if that's what you want to do, like that's what you want to do. That's cool.
Yeah, no. Man's
Yeah,
living
if it
his best
works.
life. Respect.
If it works, I guess.
I mean, like when he comes back, it's not like he's living there freaking rent free and like fucking being a slob and shit like that. Like I don't understand what you mean by if it's just sparing a room, if anyone can spare a room or spare your couch for like 2 weeks or a month while I work
Mm.
part-time or work at a job to make money so I can travel again, like I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah.
It's not
I mean,
imposing too much. Especially if
as
he's
long as
coming back,
they're
like,
okay with it, I wouldn't mind asking for something like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks max. Anything over that, I
Wow.
wouldn't do it.
It depends
I
on
wouldn't.
the person, the culture. Just there's so many different factors, but a lot of different, especially European people, they do this all the time, and it's perfectly fine.
I'm just saying, for me personally, I would feel like a piece of shit asking to stay with someone for more than 3 weeks without actually being a permanent resident in their house or their home or their apartment.
see, I don't see
I
anything
can
wrong with that because,
understand.
like I said, for my coworker, he it's not like he doesn't pay bills. He's
Oh yeah,
rooming with
I
them.
mean,
Like
even
he'll
if
pay
I
his
was
share.
paying even if I was paying like rent or utilities, even if I was paying for 100% of everything for the person I was staying with, I still wouldn't stay more than 3 weeks.
That's so weird. That's a weird hang up you have.
Yeah, I don't
I don't know.
understand
I feel
that.
like
I feel like that's a cultural thing.
I
Maybe.
think I feel like if I was doing that, then I would ask just to become a permanent resident in their home for a certain amount of time, like a year. Like I would write down a contract with them and say, all right, for a year I'll pay half the utilities, half the rent, whatever.
Oh yeah, no. I mean,
Yeah,
you
that makes
can do
sense.
that
Yeah.
if you want to do that. You can do that. Yeah.
Because
Oh.
staying anything longer than 3 weeks for me is long term residence.
I mean,
I mean,
like I said,
most-
depends on what your end goal here is. Like for him, he just wanted to be like he's bouncing back because he needs
Yeah.
to make some money.
And for him, it
So he
obviously
came
works.
here. Yeah, and it's like he wants to do that. He's gonna do it. So
All right. So the last two questions that we're going to ask both come from New Vegas Savior, and they're kind of related, so that's kind of why I put them on here. First one is, what is your favorite soda or soft drink? Oh, he's got
The
it.
man's literally reaching for it. He's like, I have it.
hashtag not sponsored, but oh my god, let me tell you about Coca-Cola Cherry.
I love cherry Coke.
I've always been a Coke person. Even though growing up I was in a Pepsi household. I have seen the error of my father's ways, and I've learned that Coke is the superior product. Hashtag not sponsored by Coke, but man, will I sell out to them.
Yeah. I love cherry Coke. It's definitely one of my favorite sodas. I don't know if it is my favorite though. Like I grew up on like lemon lime sodas like Sprite and stuff like that.
Right.
My favorite right now is probably Starry. I drink a lot of that shit.
I learned why it's called Starry. Do you know why?
No,
So
I need to
Starry-
hear this.
Starry, if you didn't know, is Sierra Mist. It's PepsiCo.
Yeah, it's Pepsi's replacement for Sierra Mist.
It's not a replacement. So apparently what happened was there was someone else who already had the name Sierra Mist. I believe she was like a porn star or something. Or an exotic dancer or some shit. Someone had the name Sierra Mist.
And they sued Pepsi?
Well, no. Pepsi was like, well, we own the name. So in Sierra Mist was waiting for them to fuck up, and she noticed, or someone noticed that, hey, they didn't update their patents to own this name or some shit, so they stole it back.
I did not know that.
So they couldn't use legally. They could not use the name Sierra Mist. So they had to rename themselves Starry.
This is a
Oh
porn
my
star?
god! So that's the entire reason? Are you
That's the
shitting me?
entire reason they had to rename themselves.
That's
wow.
Hilarious.
That's like business hubris right there, because they thought, oh, we're so big, no one's gonna need. Yeah, we're never gonna have to worry about this. Fucker, you thought.
I mean, apparently the person who owned the name Sierra Mist, the famous person, again, I don't remember if they were a porn star or something like that. They had the name before Pepsi was made
I wonder if
Sierra
it was like
Mist,
their
so
actual name though. Like
I don't know,
because
I just know that
I know that you can sue for that in the United States, at least, if you have like if it's your actual name, the name you were born with, and then a company.
no, I think
goes,
it was a stage name or something like that. But they built a brand on Sierra Mist already.
Mm-hmm.
And Pepsi just said, "Well, fuck you. We have more lawyers, and we bought the name, so fuck you." So, in this person's pettiness, they waited for a lapse in the patent or whatever it was, and stole it back. And I'm just like, I love that. It's so funny.
The name stuff is. The name stuff is so funny with me because, like, so in Smiling Friends, the episode where you actually get to see Glep's wife in the Halloween episode because she's dressed up like Nancy Reagan.
Is that Glep's wife? Yeah,
That's Glep's wife. Do you know what her name is?
No.
Marge Simpson.
No way.
Do you know why they're able to get away with that?
Why?
Because there are 182 people in the United States named Marge Simpson.
That's hilarious.
Really?
And it is common enough where the U.S. Patent and Copyright Office considers it a common name.
That is
So it
funny.
can't. So the name itself cannot be copyrighted. The design of the character Marge Simpson can be copyrighted, but the name can't.
Huh.
Copyright laws with names and stuff is really funny to me.
That's
Shinoda,
actually
what's your favorite drink?
I love specifically from this brand called Old Jamaica ginger beer.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Is that the thing
That
it
shit's
comes
pretty
in,
good.
Comes in a glass?
No.
No?
It wouldn't surprise me if it does. And in fact, I think they do have some glass bottles now, but no. What first time I had it, I was over in the UK and I just needed something to drink. I went to the corner store and I saw that. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, I think ginger beer
tried it.
tastes amazing. It's just a shame
And
that
this
ginger beer
is-
costs so fucking much.
Yeah.
Really, now, this stuff, holy shit. I've only had like one other different ginger beer that actually tastes just as good because this tastes like proper spicy ginger because like it actually whops your mouth with that taste. And I'm like, fuck, this is good stuff. And unfortunately, I think they've recently changed the recipe, so it's not even the same as the old recipe anymore.
Well, that kind of sucks.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to try something really good with that though?
What?
Mix it with gin.
I don't like
Yeah.
gin.
Ginger
That's what
beer and
I,
gin is delicious.
I'll try
Right.
it, but I don't like gin.
Yeah, the I had ginger beer, a diet ginger beer, at my in-laws over Christmas, and I was like, oh my god, they make diet ginger beer, and I was like, this is so good, and I looked up how much it costs. It's like, yeah, it's only like $4 a can. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Only.
I think because of how ginger beer is made, it's just gonna be so much more expensive,
I
unfortunately.
think anything made with ginger is always just expensive because the ginger market is all fucked up.
Yeah.
So the related question for this, what term do you prefer for soft drinks? Soda, pop, or Coke?
I've always said I used to say pop when I was young, like a kid. I say soda now.
Soda.
Say soda.
I've always said soda.
I'm gonna buck the thing that everyone thinks about me because I'm from the South. I have never once in my life referred to all soft drinks as Coke, despite what people think about Southerners. I've always said soda.
Orange Coke.
Yeah. I do know people here in the South that they do call pretty much every carbonated beverage Coke. The one exception I think everyone makes is for Fanta. That's just Fanta.
That's really weird.
which I think Fanta is a Coke product.
It is. Yeah.
But yeah, I've
Powerade or
always said
Gatorade.
I've always said soda. Occasionally, like if I'm referring to like Pepsi / Coca-Cola, the actual drinks themselves, I'll say cola to differentiate them from like a Sprite or a 7-Up or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
because
here's
cola
the-
is like the drink, Pepsi or Coke or
Yeah.
Big K, and I'm trying to think of all
RC
the other
Cola.
off brands. RC Cola.
Man,
So
RC
here's
Cola's pretty good.
here's the thing. Like, if we're talking in general about soda, I'll just be saying soda. But if I'm talking about something specific, I'll just use the name of what I'm
Yeah,
I'm
me
talking
too.
about. I won't. Yeah. Because I'm just like, there's so many different products, so many different flavors. Why would I say some generic? Why would I call it soda? I don't do that.
Like when I went ginger ale, I just asked for Canada Dry.
Yeah. And like, if I'm feeling root beer, what am I feeling? Mugs or A&W? Like, makes a difference.
Wow. Doesn't even consider Barks. Wow.
I don't know if I've had that.
Barks, that's the
Let me look
Is
this
that-
up.
Mug and A&W. A&W is its own thing. Mug is owned by Pepsi.
I believe
Barks
A&W
owned
is
by
actually
Coke.
owned by Dr. Pepper now.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper is its own thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Barks. Yeah, I have had this. Yeah.
Yeah, Barks
I
is the
think it's-
Coca-Cola version.
I
And
think it's okay. I don't like it. as
Powerade
much
and
as-
Gatorade. Gatorade is owned by Gatorade, but Powerade is owned by Coke.
Yeah.
I know
really?
everything that Coke owns. I generally like every single thing that Coke makes, other than their bottled water. Dasani is the worst fucking
Dasani
bottled.
is awful. I would rather fucking die of dehydration than drink Dasani.
I would rather have an Aquafina, which I know is Pepsi, than a Dasani.
You know what's
but-
funny? There's multiple times in my life where I've gone to grocery stores before a hurricane comes in. You know, there's a run on a lot of stuff when hurricanes come in. The water aisle will be empty except for the Dasani. There will
Exactly.
be plenty of Dasani there.
See, people don't pick up the Fiji water and stuff too because it's just way too expensive.
I mean, listen, it's still better than Dasani.
I think Fiji water is fucking. It tastes like normal water. I think people are overhyping the fuck out of that. I remember my older sister loved drinking Fiji water. I'm like, this doesn't taste any better than like regular water. Like, it tastes better in the sense that it has more minerals and stuff in it. It tastes like slightly different. But in terms of like water's water, bro. Like, they're all purified. I don't understand.
The only difference in the taste that you have with the different bottles of water is like the minerals that they put in it, because everyone puts different types and different amounts of minerals in it.
Shasta, I
I have
really
no idea
love
what that is.
Shasta is a brand of soda. I believe they're from the Pacific Northwest. But Shasta makes one called Tiki Punch. It's like a fruit punch soda. It's amazing. I fucking love Tiki Punch. Oh my god, it's so good. I've never had a fruit punch flavored soda that tasted so good before in my life. Shasta just kills it. And it hurts that there's no sugar-free version. But I am so loyal to Coca-Cola, other than the water. And whenever I'm at the restaurant, they ask, is Pepsi okay? I say no. It's not okay. And I'd rather get a water.
All right, so
That's how
all the
deep my loyalty runs. Don't please sponsor me.
Yeah, good luck with that
We
shit.
wish.
So that's all we have for questions. 2 hours into this episode, we're
Oh,
finally
God.
done
Oh,
with the
yeah.
questions. Or nearly 2 hours in. So since we're talking about drinks, I want to quickly talk about one of the things that I wanted to talk about. So Ghost Energy Drink has a new hydration drink out now, and I love it. I love this shit. It's so
What
good.
flavor is that?
This
It's
was
Sour
the Sour
Punch.
Patch Kids Blue Raspberry.
Yeah, or Sour Patch Kids.
I don't know how I feel
but they also
about
have
drinking
this.
that.
Which is the I call this fake orange juice because it literally just tastes like orange juice and it's sugar free.
It's basically, so if you guys have ever had the
Strawberry
G
kiwi?
Fuel or like the Gamer Subs version, it's basically this. It's this. This is all that is.
Oh,
Same
okay.
shit. You can
It's
get
good though.
caffeinated and
The flavors are really
uncaffeinated.
good. I like.
Yeah,
I just like the.
I think that Ghost has pretty good flavors. Even though I am a Monster die-hard fan, and Rockstar, I love Rockstars and Monsters forever. I generally just buy whatever is cheapest, like whatever's on sale. That's what
I will say
what's more important to me.
a few months ago I mentioned on a stream I was doing, it's like I really like Ghost energy drinks, but I wish they would make caffeine free versions because I like the taste of them so much.
Right, like
Just don't
G
have
Fuel
any
and Gamer
caffeine.
Subs do that. Yeah, that one's just a the no caffeine version. It's the same stuff. It's just a drink.
Yeah, it's also not carbonated like the energy drinks are.
Yeah, like I said, it's just a normal drink. I
No
personally
sugar, 10 calories.
Wow.
it's basically just like Crystal Light, like so you're drinking.
It's good, man. It's good.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
it.
it's flavored water stuff. It tastes good. It's no sugar, so it's not terrible for
And
you.
it's got a lot of good stuff in it. It's got, potassium, magnesium, calcium, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin B6, B12.
Alex, stop trying to shell so hard.
I know, man.
I listen.
You glazing the fuck out of Ghost like we have like a sponsorship from them or something, bro. Like,
as
come on.
much as John will shill for Coke, I will 100%
Yeah, no, I
shill
glaze
for
the absolute
Ghost.
fuck out of Coke. That is, till the day I die, I will glaze the fuck out of Coke. They have never made a product I hated so far, other than the water. But I still drink Dasani. I just don't prefer to drink Dasani.
You drink it, you just don't ask for it.
Who in their right fucking mind asked for Dasani, man?
I don't know.
Psychopaths.
I wanted to bring that up because I've really been enjoying these. Thank you, Ghost, for making these. I can now drink Ghost past
Yeah, I'm
midnight.
actually very surprised at the Ghost Energy Drink Company. Like, so I remember I was talking to a coworker before about like he wanted to get into the he's someone who has always pursued getting rich by himself.
Oh.
His father is a very successful businessman. But instead of living off of daddy's money, he wants to be his own successful businessman. And we had a conversation once
Good for
about,
him.
yeah, of course, like it's good to have dreams and aspirations, and like,
Get that bag, man.
yeah. And he talked about wanting to break into the energy drink market, and he said something that actually really stuck out to me because I was like, you're gonna compete with like Monster and Red Bull and Rockstar. Like, there's giants in the industry that own 30-20% of this market. And he says to me, he's like, do you know how much this market is worth? And this is back like maybe 10 years ago. He's like, the energy drink market at the time was valued at like $5 billion or something. Pretty high. And at $5 billion, he's like, if I even got 1% of that market, I'd be making so much money. And I didn't think about that. Like, yeah, 1% of that market of a $5 billion industry, that's $5 million. If I had my own company, I was just like, that is smart as fuck. I have never considered that. It doesn't matter how big the market size is of how many giants there are.
Yeah.
All it matters is that you understand this is the market size, and you can get a certain percentage of that market. And it's an ever-growing market.
At a market size that big, too, even if it's oversaturated, again, just get 1.5%. You're golden.
Yeah, and then just like with tech industries, hopefully a bigger person will come out and buy you out. You retire.
That's the goal.
So it's actually really
Or
cool.
you strike it really lucky, become big yourself, and can afford to buy other people.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's the thing. You either get bought or you buy others out. It's the cycle.
It happens. I mean, there's startups that end up becoming massive companies.
We talked about this before when we talked about Ghost when you brought it up, but I'm honestly surprised Ghost is able to license all these flavors from like Sour Patch, from Skittles, or actually no,
Swedish
Skittles
Fish.
I believe Skittles was licensed by C4.
Yes, it was. But they have Swedish Fish. Ghost
they have C4 has Starburst and Skittles, but yeah, Ghost has like Swedish Fish, and I'm just like, I wonder how much they're giving up for that, because that alone was like me going like, when I saw Swedish Fish and Sour Patch Kids, I was just like, yo, I love those flavors. I want to drink that.
That was what made me like try these out in the first place.
Now I do know that I believe Ghost was in a legal battle or is in a legal battle for basically making soft drinks or making energy drinks that taste like candy, and it's basically marketing it towards kids. Like, you're not supposed to market energy drinks towards kids. Yeah. It says on the cans and stuff like that, you got to be 18 plus to drink this. It's one of those things that's like, or it's recommended to be 18 plus and that you're not pregnant to be drinking these things like Monster and stuff like that.
And they don't have that warning on here, but there's no caffeine in this.
Yeah, so I
So it's
know
not too
that
bad.
specifically for some energy drinks like Monster, it does say like not
Yeah.
recommended for people under the age of 18 or pregnant women. And
Yeah,
they
there's
have that
on the-
disclaimer on there.
On the energy,
So-
on the Ghost energy drink cans on the back, there is a little thing that says intended for people 18 years of age
Yeah.
or older.
So it's like it's not an enforced rule in the US. It is an enforced rule in the UK. You're not allowed to buy energy
And
drinks
all-
unless you're
all of
over
your
18
energy
or
drinks.
older.
I wish it was an enforced rule because I fucked myself over when I was a teenager drinking so many goddamn monsters.
I mean, the problem is that if you start enforcing like energy drinks, you're gonna have to start enforcing coffee, Starbucks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of different places.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
But I do remember seeing or reading something about like Ghost might be in trouble with like the whole marketing towards kids thing with the Swedish fish. So I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
Oh, shit.
We'll see what happens.
I'm pretty sure nothing's gonna come of it. Like it's
No,
a drink
I mean,
company,
they obviously put the labels on the cans now, so I mean that is something that came out of it, I guess. Drink lots of
Yeah,
water. I do drink lots of water.
I do too, yeah.
So there's also something else I wanted to bring up. Far be it for me to bring up anime on the fucking WTF, but I'm going to.
Boo.
Boo.
But
We
I have
have
to
a
say-
rule about this.
No, we don't have a rule about this. WTF's
we
for
don't.
whatever's on our minds. Since the year is half over, I want to ask you two, since you're here, what is your anime of the year so far?
God damn it. Bro, you can't just
Bro, I have to go look at the actual seasonal release.
We
list.
all know you're gonna say Freerun.
I mean, obviously it's free run. Like
yeah, I know. Fucking
there is
asshole.
absolutely no competition.
I
There's other
mean,
shows that came out that were great, but free run fucking just is the best.
mean, yeah,
Hands
that's Freerun,
down.
Apothecary Diaries, Dungeon Meshi was great. The new Spice and Wolf remake is fantastic so far.
Oh, I've been loving that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have to agree with John. So far, the year's not over yet, but what it seems like, it's probably
Bro,
gonna
Classy
be free
Ulysses,
run.
Eminence of Shadow Season 2 was last year. I know you wish it was this year.
Yeah, that was last year.
See, free run's cheating though because that was winter, wasn't it?
They did start in the winter, yes, but it ended during the... no, it started in the fall last year, ended during the winter this year.
Yeah, so it's kind of cheating if we use free run.
I mean, if I were to go with just the anime from this year that have ended so far, I'd probably say Dungeon Meshi.
I mean, I'd have to look at the list. Winter 24. I'm trying to think of. I don't know. You have to give me
I mean,
a second
the
while I
easy
boot
answer,
up
you're
Anime
right,
Chart.
though, is Freerun. And I feel like it's ended this year, so we know how it's gone. So I feel like saying Freerun is anime of the year so far. Man, hentai is disappointing in 2024 so far. Yeah.
Yeah, if I don't include free run because even though it technically ended in winter 24, then I would have to say probably Dungeon Meshi. Solo
Yeah.
leveling was all right.
It wasn't the
I-
hype part, unfortunately, so it's not gonna.
Yeah,
get that.
it's the boring like first 100 chapters type of shit or
Yeah.
first 50 chapters type of shit. Because solo leveling is
It's the
a
prologue.
lot shorter.
It is the
This
prologue.
yeah. So, I mean, I season 2 is gonna be a lot more hype. It's gonna be a lot better. I did like it though. I don't know. Yeah, fuck man. Free Ran, Apothecary Diaries, Shangri-La Frontier. But all these came out last.
Yeah, all of them
Last
started
year.
in the fall of last year.
I can't count them.
If we're not counting, this
I'm
is
just saying-
actually tough.
For me, of the stuff that has begun in 2024 and has already ended, I'm saying Dungeon Meshi so far, my anime of the year for 2024.
I'm a little bit surprised you're not saying Spice and Wolf.
It hasn't ended yet, though. I'm just saying of stuff that has begun and ended
Oh,
so
okay.
far in this first half of the year.
Oh! I don't need to look ahead then. Okay.
Yeah, it's for me. Yeah, for me, it's going to be Dungeon Meshi so far. But I have a feeling if the Spice and Wolf remake continues its quality that it's got going right now, that will probably be my anime of the year without any doubt.
I think it is Dungeon Meshi.
Yeah, it would have to be for me. It'd probably be Dungeon Meshi, then Solo Leveling, and then for probably Kaiju number 8, probably number 3. I love it so far.
I don't know about the other positions yet because there's way too many stuff.
Was it
right
Kaiju
now.
number 8 that they've recently announced was getting a second season?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, no.
No, that was Seventh Prince.
No. Seventh Prince, yeah.
Seventh Prince, that's right. Oh god. Seventh Prince. Any isekai show that was released this year is anime of the year. Oh my god. Someone's huffing the copium.
Man, I just watched the last episode of Konosuba right before we started this.
Listen. It's good.
Anyway.
I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Okay, go ahead. John, what do you want to talk about?
Fuck, bro. It's so hot. My AC's on. And all I can think about now that I'm reading this and I'm hungry, like, the best time for hot soup is a hot day.
The best time for hot soup is whenever the next cup of soup is coming out.
Now, I know that people think that that's stupid. I don't know why people think that's stupid. It's like, it's hot. Why would you want to eat something that's hot when it's hot? I don't know why. But on a hot day, like when it's 90 degrees outside or 20, 28, 30 Celsius, is that what that is?
Whatever non-freedom units they are.
Non-freedom units, that is. I just feel like having hot soup. I don't know why. It just tastes better when it's hot. Mainly, probably, you know what? Probably because when it's hot, the soup doesn't get cold. It stays hot because it's already hot outside. So you got hot soup the entire time you're eating the soup. Specifically, I like having pho on a hot day. But any soup will really do if I'm feeling for soup on a hot day. I feel like it's the best time. Now, don't get me wrong. I think having hot soup on a cold day is pretty awesome, too. Because it's cold and you want to warm up. Like, there's plenty of mornings when I wake up, like when I go hunting or camping or something, and I'm like, man, a bowl of hot instant noodles right now would be perfect. And it is perfect. And I love it because it warms you all up. But also, when it's hella hot, it's just really good. It just hit different. I cannot explain to you why it does it. I don't know the science behind it. I don't know the psychology behind this. I just know that this is how it works, and it just is better. Just like how, on a cold day, ice cream is the best.
So there's a little bit of this I know about, although I don't know the exact science of it. But I think the reason that cold things taste or feel better to eat on a cold day and hot things feel better to eat on a hot day has something to do with balancing the internal temperature of your stomach to the outside.
I don't know. I have never looked up the science behind this. I just know that I think hot soup on a hot day is the best feeling ever. I've
never found a bad time to have soup. It's good
I
anytime.
also agree that I don't think I've ever had a bad time of like when I want hot soup. I think it's always great to have hot soup.
Can I ask you something though? Do you consider chili to be soup?
No, I consider chili to be chili.
Okay.
Do you consider curry to be soup?
No, but usually
chili is closer to a curry than it is to a soup.
That's true. I would consider chili closer to a stew.
Yeah, chili is closer to a stew. A stew is completely different. Like the thickness of it depends on like, can I slurp it, right? Like, can I drink it and slurp it like a drink? If it's something that I can't drink like a drink, and I have to kind of drink it / eat it like a smoothie, it's not a soup. Now, I'm not sure if there's like, obviously there's an actual like Merriam-Webster's dictionary definition of soup, stews, and all this other crap, right? I don't give a fuck. In my own metric, if I can drink it like I drink this water or this tea, right? That's soup, baby. Right?
So
I don't have anything chunky to try to
my you know what my metric is between soup and stew? If I have a spoon with a hole in it and I put whatever it is I'm eating on there, if it goes through the hole immediately, that's soup. If it doesn't, that's stew.
See, I'm fine with my soup being a little bit chunky and like, I don't know, like you can still easily swallow it, but if it has stuff that you can chew in there as well, great.
Shinoda, if you're eating anything and it's hard to swallow, you probably shouldn't be swallowing it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what he meant. Come on.
I know what he meant. I'm just saying, gotta chew things before you swallow.
God, now I want chili. I want pho. I want chili. I want all the soup.
You just want food.
Bro, grab
You're
food,
hungry.
I'm hungry.
Grab some fucking chips and just munch on it. Because I'm actually about to do that.
No, we gotta. I'm dedicated at this point. We're gonna finish this episode. Yeah, no, that's all I had to say about soup on a hot day. It's a hot day right now.
It
want
hits
some
different. It hits a little different than eating it on a cold day.
Oh my god!
Shinoda, if you're actually gonna fucking eat, mute your fucking mic.
That's what I'm gonna do.
ASMR, just rattle, rattle, rattle. You're gonna eat. It's your turn to talk. Anyway, let's talk about Helldivers 2 while he's muted.
Yeah, I would love to talk about Helldivers 2 specifically.
Oh, okay.
So it's no secret on this podcast that we love Helldivers. We play it a lot. I tried to play it at least once a week.
The
on
new
stream.
CEO of Helldivers 2 actually posted on Reddit and introduced himself to the community.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was just like, that's so weird. The CEO of Arrowhead, the new CEO.
Yeah. But no,
And it
the
turns
thing
out he's incredibly based.
yeah.
I mean, I didn't read it. I just know that he posted. Like, people were like, "Oh my god, a CEO posted! It's crazy."
No,
And I'm
I
just like,
read
"All
through it.
right, I get it. Quit sucking." First and foremost, like, I get that gamers have been in an abusive relationship with development studios, like AAA development studios, for the last like 20 years.
It's
right?
like being a battered housewife.
And it's like, here comes along a AAA studio. Is Arrowhead AAA? I don't know. If
I
they
wouldn't consider them a AAA
Is it
studio.
AA?
They just
It's
made a
AA.
AAA game.
Well, I mean, technically, it's the size of your company, your development team, and stuff determines whether you're AAA, AA, or like indie and stuff like that.
The minor leagues.
Kind of, yeah. But so it's just like doing very basic common decency things as a AA studio. It's like everyone's praising them and giving them applauding them for doing like very basic things of like, hey guys, I'm new to the community. Hey guys,
like,
we care about balancing and making the game fun. It's like, wow.
Ooh, you did the bare minimum. Good job. Good job.
Honestly,
It sucks, bro. It's just like
It's like being in a like if you're only experienced, to use the relationship analogy that you used, if your only experience with any kind of romantic relationship is abuse, and then you get into an actual loving relationship, it's like you're gonna praise the things that you should have expected a long time ago.
That's how I feel with my wife. To be honest.
Wow.
Like,
Oh my god! If a shoe comes flying across the screen, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
no, like she's always just like, oh, that's so great, this and that, and bragging about the stuff that I do. And I'm like, man, this is the bare minimum. Like, holy shit, some of these women be abused, man. I swear. Like, oh, he buys me stuff and takes me out and cares about what I want. Like, yes,
He asked about my day.
to like the bare fucking minimum. I feed you food you want to eat. I buy you gifts. Like, what?
I hold your hand.
I don't know, man. To me, it's just the bare minimum to show that you care about somebody. But whatever.
But
Look,
you can
that's
see
tough
why
for
a lot
of people.
But you can see why a lot of gamers are like that with Arrowhead. It's like, wow, these big studios weren't giving us this stuff. It's like, I'm happy.
And I understand that. Like, for example, I know that a lot of community managers, being a community manager is a shitty fucking job.
It is
because you have to take all the abuse from the community.
Yeah.
And the people who, generally the people who are writing on the community are people who don't care about being fucking assholes online. Those are the people who actually care, right?
Yeah.
About voicing their opinions, people who are assholes. And you have to take all that abuse, and don't get me wrong, there's some nice people on forums and stuff like that, and community forums and discords and stuff like that actually send useful information and suggestions and stuff like that. But it's a huge like when you peruse Reddit, like count how many people are like negatively just dunking on a community and just jumping down the throats of their community managers for a game versus how many people do positive things. when they release balances or patches or DLCs that people universally hate, they immediately, like, if they release a good one,
It's
all praise. No one hates you. Like, very minority of people will hate you. But if you release anything bad, oh my god, it's all just they
You're
all
the
hate you.
salt pit.
Yeah, it's a
And if
salt
you're a
pit.
community manager, you're getting the brunt of all that shit.
Yeah, and
And
on
the
top
thing
of
is, it is your
on
job
top
to
of
do
being
it.
abused by that community that you're the community manager of, you have to go and bring these suggestions that the higher ups don't even care about anyway. So it's like you're in a shitty position where your entire job exists to be the person who gets abused. You are the scapegoat, and it sucks.
And
Like,
there's a reason why a lot of people don't stay in community manager roles for too long, because it gets tiring.
It's got to be a very degrading job in some places.
I feel like it's because community managers, if they're not part of the development team, like an actual programmer or a balancer or a writer or something else, people who actually affect the core of the game, I feel like it'd be hard to be a community manager because you don't really affect much. You can voice the opinions of the community. You can try to like your job is to your job is to be the messenger, to be the representative. But it's like, so many people just shoot the messenger these days. So
Yeah.
they're not supposed to shoot the messenger, but they do anyway. They don't really care who's caught in the crossfire.
But no, like with Helldivers 2, like I specifically want to talk about the journey it's been on since it got released, because like when this game came out, it was like being praised to all hell and back. Like it had a shit ton of people playing it. Everyone that was playing it was like singing its praises. And then it was that way for a little while. And of course, then there were more balance patches and stuff coming out for it, additions to the game. And people were like, y'all are just making this game super grindy. You're making it very, very difficult to actually play the game and have fun. Like when this game launched, we were just having fun. We were having a great deal of fun times with this game. And then the player base went down again. And then that whole thing with the PSN, like requiring a PSN account to play the game happened, which was the idea from the beginning. And the only reason it wasn't on Steam was because they couldn't figure out exactly how to make it work when Steam launched, or when it launched on PC on Steam. So they's like, all right, we're going to set this to the side for now. You can play, but eventually down the road, you're going to have to make a PSN account. And then I guess for now, at least, they've made it on PC where you don't have to have a PSN account. And now look what happened. With the newest update, the player base is kind of back.
Yeah, because they made a lot of things when they're like, let's unnerf a bunch of things, make things more.
So, like, game balancing is hard. Right?
Game balancing
crazy
is
journey, right?
incredibly hard.
It's
The
a
reason
crazy
why-
journey that such a small studio has been on in such a short time.
I understand that game balancing is hard already when you don't have a big publisher behind you telling you need to change things, right? Fortunately for the team at Arrowhead, I don't believe Sony's breathing down their necks to change things. Other than the whole PSN thing, that was a huge ordeal.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think Sony's been pretty hands off so far with the whole monetization and stuff like that, and the war bonds. It seems like Arrowhead has a lot more creative control in that regard,
which is good.
But yeah, in terms of balancing, I feel like because they don't have to worry about the the publisher breathing down their necks and telling them you need to do this, you need to do this, like we need you to make it more grindy, do this, do that. They're able to try to make the game fun. And I feel like at the very beginning, the reason why everyone thought it was fun wasn't because things were strong, but is because they were new to the game. When when you weren't farming tier 7s and 8s and 9s for material, when you weren't at end game level 50 skull captain type of shit. When it was because to me, I think the most fun I had with Helldivers was before I learned how to be good at Helldivers. Now that I'm good at Helldivers, I'm like, yeah, now it's kind of just boring. And it was more interesting and harder for me to play when it was balanced to hell and more patrols, the weapons were a lot weaker. But the problem with that is I had to think more about what I did, but this locked me into a meta of like,
Yep.
hey, I'm only running these 4 specific things all the time forever. I'm only going to run these weapons all the time forever. I didn't want to experiment or use anything else outside of these 4 because if I didn't, I would have a bad fucking time playing this game.
So, John,
And
you know what you're describing and overall what the community went through?
what?
The honeymoon period.
A honeymoon period.
It is the
Yeah,
honeymoon period.
When a game first releases and
Yep.
people are just like, "Hey, this is pretty good," and then
Everyone's
they get down in the
exploring,
weeds of it, and
everyone's
it's like,
talking.
"This isn't
Yeah.
so good."
Before
Yeah,
you
it's-
discover like how to actually play the game, the honeymoon period. But my point is like in terms of game balancing, it's hard to balance a game for everyone because for one, like your casuals are the ones who are going to be the biggest in number, but they're not going to be the ones who spend the money. Your dedicated fan base are going to be like the ones spending all the money. You know, the people who have bought, like me, have bought every single war bond. And I will continue to buy every single war bond. Now, unfortunately for Arrowhead, they've made it super easy for me to get 1,000 super credits every month before
Bro,
they
share
release a
your
new war
secrets
bond.
with me. I'm 3 war bonds behind.
Well, the first secret is I play every day, at least 30 minutes every day just to do my daily. And within that 30 minutes, I know how to farm for super credits super fast.
We're doing fine, James.
We're talking about
We're talking about
Helldivers.
Helldivers.
Hell no.
But yeah, the problem is that when you're balancing a game, you have to think about your whales, you have to think about your dolphins, and you have to think about your free-to-plays. And it's hard to balance a game around that, especially when you're so giving with your rewards. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, if you really wanted to, you can grind out 1,000 super credits in like 2 hours. It would take you no more than 2 hours of just playing Helldivers 2 to get 1,000 super credits. Super easy. That is nothing. In terms of like other games that allow you to grind, like mobile games, for example, like free-to-play mobile games, I can grind for about 6 hours to get half of what I need instead of paying like $20. 6
They
hours.
get ya.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they get you. But Helldivers 2 is a $40 game. It's a AA game. But yeah, balancing towards that end is hard because when people play at the high end, they only want to play meta anyway because they want to do this mission as efficiently as possible.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes. The higher you go,
that's just how it goes. But the other issue is, well, what about the people who don't want to do that? And I feel like with the recent patch, they've really made it so, hey, you know what? You don't have to do crazy like tier 7, 8, 9 stuff. You can do tier 6 now. You can farm everything you need to get every single upgrade in the game.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great change. It's a phenomenal change.
I've been
Now,
having
Can I-
so much more
did
fun
you
because
actually-
of that change.
John, I have to ask, did you read the actual patch notes that came out?
Yes, I did.
I love the fact that in the patch notes for a lot of the weapon changes they put in there, they said this is how we originally envisioned it, but this is how people were playing it and we're changing it to this.
Yeah, because it's like, again, if people want to do endgame grind stuff, they're gonna, because it's grind. Whenever people have to grind, there's gonna be a meta. You can never stop a meta from being formed in a game. But what you can do is at least make it fun for everyone else at their own play levels, their own play styles, and their own levels of fun, right? Like, because of all the buffs that they've done, I've been going into tier 6s with a bunch of just random bullshit. And I'm just like finding out what I like, what I don't like, and I'm just like, I'm rediscovering the game. And it's like it's making me like the game a lot more. Instead of just playing one game a day to do my dailies, I might play a couple of games now. So it's kind of a difference. But yeah, it's the journey that they've gone on is insane because it's like on one hand I understand why they nerfed a bunch of stuff. I like especially stuff that's like, oh, that was unintentional.
Yeah.
And I understand that they don't want to make the games trivial for people because when you make the game trivial at every difficulty,
It
no
gets
one's gonna,
boring.
Yeah, they're gonna get maxed out and no one's gonna want to play for a very long time.
Yeah. Now, making the
because-
game trivial at a low level is good for new players.
Yeah, and that I
To
mean the game
learn.
has always been trivial at low levels, but they made it even more trivial, which makes it more fun because now you can experiment around. Like I don't have to carry a rocket launcher every time I go into a game. I don't have to carry an autocannon every time I go into a game. And
am I
for the
going
most
to carry
part,
my
it's like-
Quasar with me every time I go into a game? Yes.
But you don't have to.
I don't have to, but I'm going to.
Yeah, and it's like at the higher levels, it's like, yeah, you kind of have to do certain things like that if you want to be able to pass it easily. But yeah, it's just the patches that they've kept doing, they just kept nerfing everything to the ground, and it's just like, it just didn't make sense to me.
Mhm.
It's like, if you guys don't want players to run this meta, then make everything else better. Like, the answer to balance patches has never been to nerf the good stuff. It's always been to buff everything else to make them just as good, if not better, than the meta shit. That has always been the answer.
Just like I run mines and turrets. Yes, we know. I've been killed by a few of them.
God, mines and turrets, this guy.
Hey, he's got his meta. It's just like AJ when we play Phasmophobia with the goddamn motion sensors.
The motion sensors, bro.
But yeah, I'm just number one. I'm very proud of Arrowhead Studios. Like I couldn't be happier for him. Like they've got this golden goose, and they keep making it better. And they actually are listening to players. They're interacting with them. They're taking feedback from their player base, and I like to see it.
You know,
I
what's
will
even funnier,
say-
though, so prior to the latest patch 1.04, so they drop major patches every month with every war bond, right? So they're going to be making war bonds slower, so it's not going to be every single month. It might be like a month and a week or two nowadays, like going forward. On top of that, though,
Perfectly fine. Yeah.
they're also like not putting a bunch more weapons in there. Like if you didn't notice, like we got one primary, one secondary, and one grenade with the most recent war bond. And I don't know how I feel about that, because it's like you guys are spending all this extra time balancing stuff, but we have less weapons and stuff, and it's just like that kind of sucks.
I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe they're going for a quality over quantity approach, and if that's the case, I'm willing to give them a little bit of rope for that.
Yeah, because we really don't need like 3 or 4 different liberators. We really
Yeah,
don't.
I understand that there was an issue with like, oh, this one war bond comes out. Okay, here's the best one weapon from this war bond.
Yeah.
And like everyone only runs that one weapon, and that's the issue that they were having. But it's like the issue wasn't the guns being like, if you're gonna spend all that time balancing, you should just make all the guns that you do make for it amazing. Like we need more mines. No, absolutely not.
No more
Absolutely
mines.
not. Like, one of the other issues with Helldivers 2 and all the balances is that small balances and small patches would happen every week. I believe it was every Tuesday they drop it.
I believe so, yeah.
And they would just like nerf the fuck out of stuff constantly. So every week that you logged on to YouTube, it's like all these videos discussing like the best weapon rankings and this and that. They're all outdated by after, you drop a video on Monday and like Tuesday rolls out. It's like, well, my video's outdated now. Scrap the idea. And it's like, this kind of sucks for content creators. Because there's been so many changes, and there's been so many meta like ranking changes for everything, and the meta's changed so much because they buff so much, and it's like this is kind of a not a great thing for their community, because I wouldn't say every single one of their players watches YouTube videos discussing meta for their weapons and stuff like that. However, people who are struggling in a video game will watch videos, and they're more likely to go watch a video on YouTube than they are to join your Discord. So
Yeah.
it's probably a lot smarter to like be very careful of how you balance stuff, and like especially the constant nerf stuff. Like
Speaking
I
of,
don't
you should join our Discord. It's linked down below.
yeah. But yeah, to me it was weird how they approached the whole like weekly nerfing thing, because it's like, because you're doing this, not only are you pissing people off, you're also changing too much that on social media platforms like Reddit and YouTube and stuff like that, and I guess Instagram and stuff, and TikTok, who do shorts to show like 60 seconds and like, hey, these are the best things to run in Helldivers 2. It's destroying your own content. It's destroying your own like game, because you're changing too much all the time. That's something that they also should be looking at, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's fine to change things, but if you do it way too much,
Yeah, like all these videos from literally 2 weeks ago, or actually literally 1 week ago, outdated. If it's a video that hasn't come out in the last 5 days, it's outdated for Helldivers 2. The information is incorrect. It's inaccurate.
Yeah. I'm still wondering, because we found it last night when we were streaming. What is that purple question mark for?
Oh, that's been a visual bug. Like, it's not just purple. I've seen red. I've seen green.
Okay, but it was obviously meant to be a point of interest because we stayed around there and got fucked.
Yeah.
God.
A bunch of things spawned. It was like weird.
Yeah, we stayed around there and it was like 4 fucking patrols spawned on us.
All right.
I don't know, man.
Shall we move on?
Yes. Go ahead.
So you guys seen this when you Google things now, there is a AI answer that pops up before like all the actual Google answers. It's been sometimes useful, I will give it that sometimes, but most of the
Rarely
time it's been hilarious because we've been getting situations like, yeah, put glue on your pizza. That works. And just various different stupid things. And it just shows how badly this whole AI thing is going. And I'm just like, yo, like, yeah, this has the potential to be good and be done better. And I hope it does. But at the same time, this is embarrassing. Like, yo, take it out back, do a lot of tests, and come back when you're actually ready to deploy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we are the greatest testers because we're constantly reporting on stuff. So
I don't understand why Google rolled its AI out before they did testing like that.
I
Like
think
internal
because
testing and
we're
stuff like
we're
that?
gonna be the testers. That's the thing.
I have a
testers.
theory. I have a theory that it was internally tested, but it was never stress tested. And now that it's out in the open, it doesn't know how to respond to some shit.
Yeah, because I was watching videos about like people on Reddit like, all right, we're gonna fuck with Google's AI by doing a bunch of weird random shit and making, because people search Reddit for answers all the time. So it's like if we make fake posts on Reddit, then we'll like if we have the right keywords for the fake posts.
Genuinely fun to do that, though, I will say.
I love spreading misinformation online.
It's so much fun.
You mean people would do that? Go online and tell lies?
Bro, we started doing that shit on 4chan. We're still keeping that up.
Yeah, like I think it's hilarious that people treat AI language models such as ChatGPT as like the all-knowing god. And it's like,
I still hate the fact that we're calling it AI when it's not AI. It's a word generator. It's
language
not
learning
actual
models
AI.
are legit artificial intelligence.
I don't think Chinoda knows what AI. Let the postman who doesn't know nothing about technology have his views.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I would count it. I really don't.
It is an adaptive language model. Adaptive learning language model. It is an artificial intelligence. If we're being strict on the terms, if we're talking about like what constitutes an artificial intelligence, it is a neural network. So it does count as an AI. But no, my issue is like people like the people using ChatGPT and all these other AI platforms, assuming just like whatever you ask it, whatever it spits out is the truth right away, is super annoying because I get it. You know, I also take things at surface value, you know, like, well, I read it on Reddit, so it must be true. You know, like people would not dare lie online at all whatsoever. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just because of that though, because people think it's like, oh, it's so fast and it knows everything. And like, it knows so much about like what I already know that it must be right. And it's like, no, it's not. And how do you fact check? Like when we asked ChatGPT about that movie question about where did you get this like answer for this budget?
Unfortunately, I'm unable to provide an answer.
My answer was I made it the fuck up. It was its own source.
Yeah.
So
I forget when we asked that. We asked it about the box office like take for a certain movie where I couldn't find it.
I think it was a Miyazaki film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it was? No, it was The Boy and the Heron. We tried to find out what the budget was for it.
Right.
I don't think it was The Boy and the Heron. I think it was a different. No. It was Oh my God, who's that guy? Suzume.
Oh, Makoto Shinkai.
It was a Shinkai film.
Yeah, it may have been Suzume.
It might have been Suzume. I'm pretty sure it was a Shinkai film that we were talking about. Where like we don't know the budget. According to ChatGPT, it was made on this budget. Whether or not that's accurate, we don't know because it told me to go fuck myself. But yeah, it's like for certain things, I'm like, okay, I'll take things at surface value. I don't really care. You know, like if I ask you, how do I bake this cake? It tells me like how to bake a cake. I'm like, you know what? That seems right. I'll bake a cake like this. But if it's something that I have a little bit of like cursory knowledge on, and I'm like, that doesn't seem right, I'll dig deeper, right?
But
or
even
if it seems like,
but even if it's something you don't have a lot of cursory knowledge on, I think you are smart enough with lived experience to know you don't put Elmer's glue on a fucking pizza to keep the cheese on it.
Look, man, a lot of people are stupid, so
I know that they use Elmer's glue for like fake cheese pulls, like in TV commercials and stuff.
Yes,
so
they do that.
That might have been...
Don't put Elmer's glue on an actual pizza you're going to eat.
I'll have you know that Elmer's Kids Glue says that it's food safe. I can eat a pound of it. It's non-toxic. I can eat a pound of it and not die.
You might wish you were dead, though.
Maybe. You might gum up your guts. It might not be a great time.
Yeah, the AI search results on Google have been very entertaining, though. Some of them have. Some of them have been like, whoa, that's dangerous. What was the one that said, I saw one that was talking about how to clean like a toilet, and they said put toilet bowl cleaner and bleach in there. I was like, no, don't do that.
Oh my God, what?
That's mustard gas. Don't do that.
First of all, that's chlorine gas. It's not mustard gas, okay?
Okay, actually, whatever. It's still bad for you.
Yeah, no, it's not great for your lungs, but I had to make the distinction because that did happen at work once. Someone put an acid with a bleach.
No good.
It was not a great time.
All right, John, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Oh man, what do I want to talk about? I have so much I listed here. Holy shit!
I know you did. I mean, this is interesting.
Oh yeah, this, bro. I don't want to talk about that. I won't talk about it. I used to wish life was like a video game with identifiable stats that you could see when you level up, and it would be a lot more tolerable, like living life, if you could see hard work paying off. You know, like when you know in a video game like Sims or something, you have that little like meter for like fitness and
happiness.
This and that.
John,
yeah,
this is literally just going into the joke we made so long ago. You would literally min-max life if you could.
Shut up.
This is literally that.
No, which is funny to me. Which is funny to me because as much as you min-max video games, why haven't you tried min-maxing your own life? Has it never occurred to you?
I min-max my time in real life, like to do fuck all day as long as I can.
I mean, I can min-max laziness. Anyone can.
No, but like relationship meters that you could physically you could see, it'd be easy to max out by just.
You never have to wonder if that girl likes you.
It's just mega depressing to do shit and just not feel rewarded for it. You know, like I understand that it, like, you know, trying to lose weight, going to the gym, build muscle mass and stuff like that. It's small victories, and I find like how I've gotten like kind of just being okay with going to the gym and not getting to my fitness goals, I guess, like losing weight wise, is just like small victories, right? Setting realistic goals like, hey, this week I'm benching 225 and I want to do at least 230. Like that's a realistic goal, you know. Going like, oh, I'm benching 225 to like I'm gonna bench 275 by next week. That is not a
No.
realistic
That's
goal.
not no.
That
that
is
can't
not a
work.
realistic goal.
You will be very disappointed very quickly.
But yeah, like making smaller scale goals makes it a lot more bearable. But I just wish I don't know. I had this idea when I was in high school. I was telling my friend like I was gonna make stat cards, like little status cards, like charisma cards, and like this and that. I was gonna play D&D in real life. I don't know. It's
So
just
cute.
well, it just would make life a lot easier if you could physically see your actual like status of like, okay, I gave this person a gift. 1 out of 100 for friendship.
Friendship.
It's like,
plus
oh god,
plus.
we haven't talked in 3 weeks. My friendship's at 60. I gotta go hang out with this guy. It'd make it easier to be able to balance stuff, you know. I don't know if it's because I'm just like a weird guy that has problems balancing my time among relationships, because I'm always doing stuff, and I feel like it's hard for me to make time for a lot of things because I'm always doing stuff. I've committed my time like 2-3 weeks in advance. That's kind of just how my entire life revolves around me, is that I plan things 2 to 3 weeks in advance. So I can't just have like a spur of the moment, like, hey, we're gonna go grab drinks tonight. It's like, can't do it. I got a stream to do. Oh, I've got to go work on this. Oh, I'm supposed to actually, I have a deadline for this project actually. It's
I
just
used
like,
to do that.
It just sucks. It just fucking sucks.
I mean, it does suck. It's kind of like average adult life, though. Like you make these commitments and then you got to stick to them. Otherwise, you're the asshole.
Oh, but I'm just like being able to see your progress, an actual like progress bar. If I could actually gamify real life, that'd be awesome. You know,
If you ever
I
do, you'll
feel
become
like-
a trillionaire.
I don't know if you could gamify real life, to be honest.
I mean,
I
maybe.
think there are people that attempt to do something like it.
I mean, you can definitely try that, like gamifying real life, like setting realistic goals and stuff like that. Like if I go to the gym, go for 100 minutes, you know, walk for 100 steps or whatever, you know, like small whatever. I don't know. They have apps and stuff that track stuff like that, like fitness goal counters and stuff like that. Like my watch has it actually for like how
And
many
you can
reps
also
I do.
do the same thing with diet.
Yeah. But like it would be, you know, that's actually not a bad app idea. I just make a fitness app where to play and level up, you actually have to like do fitness.
You have to have it paired with like a watch, so you're not just putting in bullshit.
No, your phones have a pedometer and all that stuff inside of them.
and they have a
Peloton
gyroscope.
Yeah.
Doesn't Peloton have a gamified version of their thing? Isn't that
Probably,
Yeah, but those are
I'm
like
gonna make
$1,200, $1,300.
Yeah.
I just think
It's
it'd
talking
be
about something you
it's
download
actually
and put
not
in your
a
pocket.
it's not a bad mobile game idea I could make.
It's just-
actually
but
pretty
you gotta
easy to
you gotta
code.
include waifus. It'll sell if you put waifus in it. You can only unlock
Well, I'm not
waifus.
gonna make it scummy.
No, you can only unlock waifus. You can't buy your way into these waifus. The only way you can unlock waifus is to hit certain fitness goals. You have to do a mile in a certain amount of time. You have to do so many laps of like whatever. You have to climb this many stairs. That's the only way you can get your waifus.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. No. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea to try to make as an app. Look at me putting more projects. I already have like 4 other projects on like happening because it's whatever. Just
But see, people do
More,
that
I
too.
guess.
People like overload themselves and they don't realize they're doing it until they try and sit down and do stuff.
yeah.
Like you probably commit yourself probably to more sometimes than you should, and then you try and sit down and do something. It's like, fuck, I got to do all this other stuff too, and then you panic. It's like, how am I going to do all of it? I get that
I wouldn't
way
say so.
sometimes.
I wouldn't say so.
Really?
I panic for other reasons. Yeah.
I don't know. I think some people do overload themselves though when they make commitments.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
And it's the power of no. Just power of saying no. No, I can't commit to that because I committed to something else. No, I can't do that because I'm in the middle of this.
Oh, I'm used to doing that. That's why I said it sucks, because I feel like the more I say no to like hanging out with like coworkers or friends and stuff like that, the more I feel like they are less likely. Like even my own family, like I don't make it to a lot of events. They eventually stop inviting you because it's like, oh, he's always busy, and like
Yeah.
a group of my personal friends always joke about it too. But it's just like they joke about, oh, you gotta have a reservation with me 3 months in advance, and it's like it's not much of a joke as it is just real life.
Yeah.
And
Unfortunate.
it just sucks. It sucks. I can't hang out with them.
Yeah. If only there were like 30 hours in a day instead.
If only I didn't have to fucking sleep, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, eventually
It
they're
gets
going to
so
figure
much
this
done.
shit out. I read like, was it 2 or 3 days ago? They finally started human trials for this drug they've been working on for years now that's going to let us regrow teeth.
Whoa.
And-
Oh, I know about this. Yeah.
Yeah, you heard about it too. So they've
I
been
know about
testing
this.
it. They tested it on ferrets, cats, dogs, and mice. And it has worked successfully on all of them. And it's starting human trials, I believe, next month. And it will, if it's successful, and it apparently has very little side effects, it will allow us to regrow teeth as adults.
This is
That's
gonna
fucking
be
crazy. Holy shit.
It's gonna shake up the entire dental industry, and I'm so fucking excited.
So eventually they're going to figure out how to turn off that thing that makes us need sleep.
I mean, they constantly the amount of
I can
Gene
tell you
editing
how to
is
turn
constantly
off.
being
No,
done.
I can tell you how to turn off the thing that says you need sleep. It's called methamphetamine.
Yeah, yes. That
Some
works,
ice, baby.
That works. But man, the
Hey
gene
kids, you want to
editing
get
stuff,
skinny real quick?
the
Oh,
stuff they're able
God.
to do with like gene editing and stuff now, it's crazy, and I can only imagine it's going to get crazier.
I'm looking forward to it. That's
Yeah,
the coolest shit.
this is the undystopian future I was looking forward to.
Yeah, I know.
Being able
Just
to
don't look at
regrow
what-
my teeth and not needing as much sleep.
Yeah, let's just not look at the housing market or like job wages and like
Yeah, true.
everything
Hey,
else.
hey, we're a fun
Price of
podcast.
groceries.
We don't
Listen,
get too miserable. Calm
One
down.
problem at a time.
Besides, let's be real. More than likely, this is gonna be costing some moolah, so it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
gonna be available for
The
a
early
lot of people.
adopters are only going to be rich people because it's going to be really, really expensive. But within, I would say, a decade, probably be more affordable.
I don't know about that. Because like for example, laser eye surgery, it hasn't become any more affordable, like comparatively to before.
That's true.
If you're talking about the average person, sure, but like if you're talking overall, the price has gone down a lot.
Yeah, but it's still not. Look how long it's been around, the last 20, 30 years, and look at the price drop. It's like it's still a couple $1,000s.
Oh yeah, no,
It's still
stupid
out of
expensive.
reach for people who are living paycheck to paycheck for sure. And if you don't have dental
Like, sure, it's not
eye
tens of
insurance.
thousands of dollars anymore. It's only it's only thousands of dollars now. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's better, but it's still not accessible. Because
I think eventually
like,
the price of it
well,
will go down, but
One of
it's
my
gonna take a
friends
little longer.
actually got it as a his parents gave half of it off as a gift, so he just had to pay a small portion to get his eyes fixed. He loves it.
Bro.
yeah,
what
but
if
my
one
point
day-
is that growing teeth is not a necessity. It is just like with laser eye surgery, it's not a necessity. We have glasses. They're a lot cheaper and there's better alternatives. Just like how dentures are they're not.
Alternative.
Dentures are actually super fucking expensive.
but
But
they
there
are an
al-
alternative.
They are an alternative that would be cheaper than regrowing teeth.
And now there's
The whole-
individual like tooth implants too you can get.
Yep. The
Yeah.
whole thing, what it's going to end up being is what's cheaper for the insurance. That's what's going to make the decision.
I mean,
But
it
hey,
also
if
depends on what company is going to be able to license it and be like, this is ours. This is our proprietary knowledge, because they're going to be the ones who set the price for the market.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I mean, unless they do something crazy like just put it out there without a patent, which has
Nah,
been
they
done
wouldn't.
before, but it's very rare that happens, but it has been done
okay,
before.
you say that, but that's not going to stop people from jacking up the price of it. Like
Oh
the
no,
person
it's
who
not going to be
created
no, not at all.
the person who created insulin,
Yep.
left that without a patent because they wanted it to save lives. And look
Same
at
for
where we are
penicillin.
look at how much it costs now.
Yeah.
So it's
Same,
not gonna.
the same thing happened with penicillin. I mean, it was put out there though no patent was put up on it. It was just out there for anybody to use. But if they can do this with a drug, just imagine what if they could do the same thing with like your eyes with a drug. You just take this drug and your eyes just start to get better over a few months. And
That'd be
eventually you got
crazy.
20/20
Like-
vision.
I hope so. That'd be amazing.
You just do a drug regimen for like a year, and by the end of that year, you have 20/20 vision.
Sounds like you're a sellout to Big Pharma.
Look,
Yes.
if we can fix our bodies, hell yeah.
Fucking listen, I have lived with these ever since I was 3 years old. I'm ready to not have these.
Listen, ever since I knew the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me.
Speaking of 40K, John, you want
John, yeah, you want to talk
Oh my
about
God.
40K?
A little bit. All right. So the last couple weeks, I have been indulging in 40K lore.
bro? It's so
Um,
good.
He is becoming Henry Cavill
I-
day by day.
Well, I was watching, like I knew about the Astartes, like this guy who this indie studio or whatever that did the Astartes shorts. That super cool, by the way. And then I believe Games Workshop bought him out or something, and then killed the series, which is an unfortunate thing.
Oh, are you serious? That's what happened?
Yes.
Oh, that's bull. Why would they do fucking?
Why does Games Workshop do anything, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, money.
They only want money and they kill everything else. Anyway,
Keep
I've
going with this.
watched...
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I can still hear you though.
Okay. So I have what he took.
I took myself off. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
What was that about?
I didn't mean to do that. I hit the wrong button.
Wrong lever,
Sorry.
crunk.
Wrong lever, crunk. How do you do the fucking
Mute mic?
no
Stop
no.
cam?
Stop camera. Thank you. I was trying to figure out how to do this. I forgot. It's been so long.
Here, I'll
And
mute your
he's
mic
the
for
one
you
with the
too.
tech job.
So I have been watching a bunch of 40K videos, and I recently was like, you know what? I have only played I've played Vermintide 2, I've played Darktide, I've played Warhammer Mechanicus because that trailer got me so fucking hype
It
that I
was so
bought the
good.
game. And I actually really like the game. It's like, oh, it's like a fucking D&D. It's a tabletop puzzle game. I love this. But the lore itself about 40K and stuff like that is super fucking cool. Like it's just all like doom and gloom and death. It's great. So I started getting into like 40K lore, and then I realized like I watched an introductory video, and Dawn of War 1 and 2 went on freaking never. I don't know what Dawn of War is.
It's the RTS version, and I have actually played one. I was
You
playing.
had
till
me at
I
RTS.
stopped.
I'll play it. I love RTSs. Like
Bro,
I fucking love
it's
StarCraft.
really good, but it's not big army version. You're actually in command of like more of a
Like
smaller
hero
unit.
units.
Well, a squad of a unit, but yes, and it's so fucking good. Like it's actually fun. You should definitely play it.
But yeah, like I was looking at introductory videos for like getting into 40K, and it's like, here's an introductory video to 40K. It's like 4 hours long, and I'm like, 4 hours long for an introduction?
And
It's like,
you know what?
there's
That's the
so
short
much.
introduction video. That's a short.
Yeah, no. See, you didn't let me finish. 4 hours for an introduction video, and it's part 1 of like 10. So I'm like, you're telling me I gotta listen to you for 40 hours to just learn the introduction? Like, oh god. Like, Jesus, dude.
What have I done?
I want to get into
Oh.
40K, but it's just, there's so much to learn. There's so much lore, and I'm just like, there's so much I need to know. It's not like I want to even play the tabletop or get into any of that. I just want to know, like, all right, so, like, who is the God Emperor? Like, who are the 20, freaking, the sons of the God Emperor? Like, the Primarchs, the 20 Primarchs, and, like, what is the Horus Heresy? I want to learn all this, you know? Who are the different, freaking factions and, like, all this other stuff, you know? Like, who is Nurgle and why does everyone hate Nurgle?
Miracle's not even that bad.
I know nothing about Warhammer, so
Nurgle's like the chaos god of pestilence or whatever. He just likes disease and death.
There is a lot to this.
Then there's like
Yeah, no
Slanesh,
shit.
where people are like, Slanesh is like a different chaos god of like sex or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Pleasure, not just sex.
Yeah, it's just like 40K is a weird mix of like super cool sci-fi, but also like old school style,
Incredibly
like
dystopian.
dystopian Diablo type of shit. You know, like all the blood and all that other shit. It's super cool. I think it's awesome. I wish that it was easier to get into. I don't know where I'm supposed to start. Like I watched videos and I'm just like, okay, so I'm learning about like the salamanders. I'm learning about the Black Templars. And I was like, oh, those are cool. Like, why is the Horus Heresy? Why did that happen? And it's just like, why do they have companies or legions or whatever? And it's like all this other stuff. They only have 1,000 space marines per legion or whatever it was. You mean 18, 2 and 11 we don't talk about? What?
Oh.
What is that referencing?
There's a lot of drama behind the Primarchs.
See, I don't know. I know that there's 20 Primarchs, and then there's like a bunch of evil ones, evil Primarchs, and Chaos Marines and shit like that. And then there's also the ones who are just like, we fucking love the Emperor. Like, we'll kill anyone who tries to not love the Emperor, like the Black Templars. They're super cool. Their Primarch was like a god with the sword, so they're like, fuck ranged weapons. We're just gonna use swords and kill everyone. And they just run in with swords. They like literally he was a better ranged fighter with a sword than if you gave him a bolter. So don't give him a bolter. And I'm like, how does that make sense? Who is your Primarch?
John, you know who, like, I love so much about this, but the orcs have got to be my favorite.
The fact that orcs,
how they work.
The orcs literally they're
plants.
plants that grow, and as long as they think it works, it just fucking works. That's how their spaceships work, because they just think it works. Like, what is the
Todd
space
Howard
fucking
would love
magic?
to hire them.
What is the space magic, dude?
No bullshit. It's like if they want something to do something specific, they paint it a certain color, because if it's that color, that means it does X thing, and that's literally how their logic works. But because they are a psychic thing and they influence reality through how their psychic works, it just works. Like, this is red, that means it's explosive now, kind of thing. Yeah, red goes fast. Red goes fast. That's what red is. Yeah.
Needs more DACA.
Needs more DACA. Yes. I love orcs. They're so fucking stupid. I love them so much.
But yeah, playing all the 40K games that I've played. There's also, what's the ones where you fight against the xenomorphs? Oh my gosh.
Why am I forgetting their name? Tyranids.
Yeah, Tyranids. The freaking Tyranids. I think those are cool.
There's a lot of good Tyranid art out there.
Oh my god. Heresy. Heresy detected. But yeah, like the fact that servitors exist, right? Like a servitor is like a floating skull. And it's like, what is a servitor? Well, I'll let you know what a servitor is. It is a human brain of somebody who has died but still should be of service to the God Emperor. So we take their brains out and make them into fucking floating skulls, mechanical skulls, so they can fulfill a better purpose instead of just dying. It's like,
the whole series is, it's a grimdark series, and it is so fucking metal. It's awesome. And we have some of the biggest fucking incels in all of nerddom. I hate it.
Yeah, you do.
I wish I was kidding.
But you have some of the biggest chads on your side, too. I mean, Henry Cavill.
Yeah, so, like, it's just one of the fandoms that I wish I could get into, but it's so hard because it's, like, it's so big, you know? Like, I'm not sure if you guys have ever tried to get into a fandom of something that you're just like, dude, this is too much. Like, I want to get into it, but it's just too much.
I mean, I tried that with Fate. Didn't work out too good.
I don't think Fate has a giant fandom problem. I think Fate has a writing problem for you.
Yeah, that it really does. But a lot of people really like it.
Yeah. For me personally, honestly, if I'm ever interested in a fandom or whatever and I want to get into it, I get into it because I was already interested in it. I don't care what level stuff is at or how much I need to learn. I'm like, I like this about this. That's how I view a lot of fandoms and a lot of shows, games, whatever. It's like you don't need to learn everything. You don't need to get into everything. If you enjoy even a small part of that not fandom, of whatever you're trying to get into, you're part of the fandom. You don't need to love every single thing or know everything. You just need to love a little piece. And if that's all you experience of it, that's fine. And
See, again,
that's my hot take.
My
That's
problem
a
with
hot
trying to
take.
get-
That's a good take.
My problem with trying to get into the 40K like stuff, right? Like just nerding out about it is that there's too much.
There
There's
is a
so
lot.
much.
You have
I
so
don't-
little time, and there's so much to learn.
That's the problem with series that have been existing for so fucking long.
Like Lord of the Rings, I can get into because literally it's just a book series. Just read the books or watch the movies.
Yeah.
You can get into it. It's pretty
Yeah.
easy. Very easy to get into. You know,
You can
I
say
can
that about
commit
any kind of like novel series or
anything
manga.
that I can commit only 20 hours to, and I like know a good amount of it. That's easy. You know, 20 hours of time commitment for just an introduction is not easy to get into.
No.
Not at all.
That is not easy. Like, I don't understand. What are those giant castle things that exist in 40K that apparently they can't make anymore? But they're like giant castle dreadnoughts. Yeah, like
No.
why can't they make
Lost
dreadnoughts
technology.
anymore? Why is it a lost technology? I don't understand. What
Lot of
makes it
fucking-
lost?
John, don't start asking me because I'm gonna want to explain to you, and we're gonna be here for
See, I
3
have so
fucking
many
hours.
questions. I there's so little I know. I want to know more, but there's so many things I need to learn first.
Oh, Titans. Yeah, Titans.
Like freaking the fact that
Do you
Have
know
you ever
why
seen-
they make servitors? Why there's no AI? Because
No, I don't.
there was already AI uprising and war. That's why they're not allowed anymore. That's why servitors exist.
That's hilarious.
That's why. Like, you know how they go through the warp using human means, not technology. It's
Right.
because the AI tried to do an uprising, and the emperor was like, "No more AI."
Yeah, it's just like, have you ever seen that clip from Malcolm in the Middle where the dad comes home and it's like the freaking one thing is broken and he tries to go fix it, and then when he goes to go
One
like,
thing after another.
yeah, it's like, I need to go replace the light bulb, goes to the closet, opens the closet, it's like the shelf breaks, like goes to the drawer to try to fix the shelf, the fucking drawer breaks. Try to like, it just that's how it feels like for me trying to learn anything about 40K. Where like, hey, this one thing I think is cool, but to understand this one thing that I think is cool, I need to go learn about 50 other fucking things.
It's just too much.
And the crazy thing is, basically all of it's interconnected.
Yes, I know.
Which makes it even more difficult to learn.
Listen, all I did was watch some YouTube videos about 40K stuff, like that did like that short thing. I don't remember what it was called. I hate to know so much 40K. I mean, I wish I knew so much 40K lore. It seems like a cool thing to
Bro,
get into.
save yourself. Save yourself. Don't
Bro,
be like
do
us.
you know something that makes me like infinitely happy though? Natai has started asking me about Star Trek lore, and I'm so happy.
Oh my god.
I'm like, I'm about to
Fucking
take you on a
nerds.
journey you're gonna
You're all
regret
fucking
about
nerds.
2 years. I mean, going back to your question though, I've talked about it on the podcast before, so I won't delve into it too much. Like, I've tried so many times to get into D&D, and it's like I can't. I want to because everyone else looks like they're having a great time, but I can't.
I think it's hard for you to get into D&D because you don't want to learn the rules.
But see, every time I learn the rule, I try to use the rule, and it doesn't work.
Because you don't understand the rules.
There's too many
Listen.
damn rules.
I agree. I think learning D&D, there are a lot of rules. There's quite a lot of rules. A lot of stupid rules. A lot of things that don't make sense. But I think the fun in D&D is learning how to play it, and within those set of rules that you do understand, utilizing it to your best ability. I, for one, love min-maxing. I should try to play a game of D&D where I don't min and max, because then I might actually have fun. Instead of
You
just being...
try not to min-max? Now, that's something I'd love to see. Because I know in the back of
That's
your
entertaining.
mind, you're just going like, no.
Listen, I can't help but try to be the most efficient at whatever I'm doing. I can't. I literally cannot. I don't know. There's something wrong with me, man. It needs to be efficient.
Do you know what's funny though about it? Because I someone pointed this out to me recently. It's like, isn't one of your favorite games ever Star Wars: Knights of the Republic? It's like, yeah, I love that game. It's like, yeah, it's a D&D game just with the Star Wars like coat of paint on it. It's like, yeah, it is. Why do I like this game so much?
You do like D&D, you just don't know it.
I mean, I guess I like D&D when it's done that way.
Are we actually getting a 6th edition? Wow.
Yeah, it's there.
I gotta learn more. God.
Yeah, more
Now,
rules.
here's the thing. Now, here's the thing. You only need to learn one fucking system to play it. And, like, if you want to play something else, you're going to have to learn. But to start off with, you literally just need to learn one thing. 3.5, a.k.a. Pathfinder. That's what I started on. That's pretty much all I know.
Isn't
And
that
I
what
fucking love it.
Knights of the Republic is based off of? 3.5.
I believe so. It is basically the most popular D&D system.
Maybe that's why I like it. Maybe I just don't like 5th edition because that's the only edition of the rules I've ever played.
Oh, that might be the problem then. Yeah.
Maybe I just like 3.5. Maybe I should try doing a D&D campaign
Pathfinder.
that is in 3.5.
Yeah, specifically Pathfinder. That's the specific edition you're looking for.
I'm looking for my dice to do a bit, but I can't find my dice.
Oh man!
Do you want to grab mine? Hold on.
Yes, he wants to
mine.
grab your dice. Pull them out, man. That was a testicle joke.
Oh my god!
I can't believe you didn't catch up on that. Like, you didn't catch that. This is riveting.
Oh. My leather dice tray.
Oh, I was like, what is that, a sandwich?
I don't know where I put my dice.
Oh, Al
Where did I
Roker is
put my
back.
dice?
All right, John. I got my dice.
This dude has a whole container full of dice.
I have no idea where my dice went. What the heck?
Did Terry get them?
Maybe.
Oh my god, did she eat them?
Maybe.
You gonna shit out fucking D20s?
Anyway, the bit I was gonna be is like, look, the only rule you need to learn about D&D and how to play is just roll dice.
No, find weighted dice.
See, yeah, just roll dice. That's all you had to do to actually learn to play D&D. There you go. You're playing D&D.
Yeah,
roll
woohoo!
dice.
See.
I don't know. Like, maybe I should try a D&D campaign that's on using the 3.5 rule set.
I rolled a heck. On the
What?
D20 there. This one, you can't see.
I can't read what it says.
Yeah, I can't read
It says
that.
heck. Like one of the sides says heck.
just heck.
I rolled a heck.
But anyway,
I know that
think,
I
if
know
you
that-
played
well, I know-
Baldur's Gate 3 on stream, like I think you'd have fun.
I mean, I would probably have fun because I was playing with other people. In the same
Yeah,
reason,
I think you'd
in the
have
same,
fun
the
if you
same,
played with me.
well, yeah, because you'd carry me through the whole thing. But
Try
like,
to carry you through the whole thing.
I played like Civ 6, right? The only reason I ever played that was because I was playing with friends. It's not because I necessarily liked the game.
I hate Civ. I can't stand playing Civ.
I mean,
Is it
it was
because of what show did to you?
yes.
No, I think that if I play an RTS, I don't want the matches to be at minimum 35 minutes.
35 minutes. Those fucking rookie numbers. But yeah, like the three of us have talked about maybe playing Baldur's Gate 3 on stream at some point. I'm not against it. I can't guarantee I'm going to have a good time. I can't guarantee why one of y'all are paying attention. I'm not going to toss a Astarion off a cliff, but
We need him for a quest. Don't kill him.
no. Did I tell you that in the campaign that I was doing that I got all of my companions to just fuck off?
Oh, I found my dice.
Nice.
Yes, you did say that because you were playing the Dark Urge. Like I feel like if you're doing a dirge playthrough, that shouldn't be your first playthrough. Should not be a dirge playthrough.
Look, the only reason I did that was because I asked Ida if I wanted to do an evil playthrough, what character should I kind of make?
Look at
the hell is that?
dice. It's a mace.
Oh,
They're
I
spiky
thought it was
metal
a
dice.
I thought it was a
Oh, cute.
virus.
They're spiked metal dice because I like playing paladin because I like to smite the fuck out of everything.
Ooh, shiny. Ooh,
That's
piece
a
of
lot.
candy.
Talking a lot of trash for someone within smite range.
All right, should we move on to something else now?
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
yes.
All right.
All right,
Do you
I
want
guess
to
I
do
should
something,
talk.
Shinoda? Because you've only
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about one thing so far.
Let's see what I want. Speaking of lore, does anyone care if I go into some serious Halo lore, like super spoilers?
I mean, I don't really
No,
care.
but I haven't. I know nothing about Epitaph, so I'm not going to be able to follow along.
All right. If you guys don't care, chat. Does anyone in chat care? Because I legitimately want to ask. Because this
Oh
is
my
like,
god.
no, it's like big stuff that happened in the book. So I just want to check real quick. Oh, no one said anything.
Potential
All right.
spoilers for Halo stuff.
Potential, yeah, for anyone watching afterwards, like skip 10 minutes or something. Big spoilers. So Halo Epitaph, holy shit, what a book. What an amazing book. I listened to the
It's
audio.
a book. Okay.
Yeah, I listened to the audiobook specifically. Fucking amazingly done, by the way. I love audiobooks overall, but like Epitaph was just next level, masterfully done. We find out what happens to the didact after the didact specifically, after he got composed in the comics, and he
I have
ended
no
up
idea what any of that means.
The didact is the didact is the main villain in Halo 4, which is automatically makes
Oh,
me
that
not
space,
give a
that
fuck.
spacey dude. Okay.
Yeah, the
I know
Forerunner.
that guy.
Yeah, that's the Forerunner. God, I'm gonna have to sit down with you sometime and just explain the Halo lore to you. Kitty! That's our mascot.
No, it's
wanted my beef
not.
jerky. That I
Yes,
was
it
eating.
is. That's Sven's sister.
Okay.
She wanted jerky, and I didn't give it to her.
Aw.
Anyways, the Didact, we find out he is now in the domain, and holy shit, a lot happens. We start off with him having no memories at all of who he is or where he is, all that. Slowly throughout the book, up until like halfway point, something like that, you get he gets his memories back, and he's like, oh shit, this is me. And we find out where the Warden Eternal comes from. He's made out of a sect of Forerunners that specifically are all about the domain. They when the Halo rings fired, they all coalesced into one form, the Warden Eternal. So fucking cool. Anyway,
Again, I have no idea what any of these words mean. Like, okay, sure.
blow the Warden Eternal is the Harusfa sect.
Yeah, sure. I'm playing with Terry. Yeah.
But moreover, do you guys know about the mantle of responsibility at all?
Nope.
I am aware of it, yes.
We find out the mantle of responsibility is essentially a big lie.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, but like this is huge because like there's never been any hints about it for the longest time. Just like some theories and wild theories at that way before, but no one really thought about it because it's always been the mantle of responsibility is like the ultimate title for the dominant species. We find out that it was created by the precursors for the reason of progressing evolution of various species. But we also find out through one of the original grave mines, that the precursors are and the flood. Like, we already know the flood are precursors, but we find out that
Bro,
they are
spoilers,
the
what?
one. I'm gonna slap you when I see you. We find out that originally in the books, it was turned out that the flood are corrupted precursors after they ground themselves into dust. Turns out, no, they're not. They're not corrupted. They are the other form of the precursors. They
I
have
thought
been.
didn't we see that in Halo 3?
No, we didn't. We saw that they were that the precursor became flood, but it
No,
was
when the
explained.
Gravemind shares his story in one of the Halos, he shows like the flood used to be just like a species on a planet. Like they weren't this parasite going around claiming everything. I
Yes,
swear
yes.
in one of the Halo games it does that.
No, it does, but like it
Okay.
doesn't tell you everything. Like,
Right,
none
okay.
of the games ever tell you everything. But no, originally, and they weren't just one species. They were this pan-galactic, possibly pan-universal species
Mm-hmm.
that ground themselves into dust just to escape the persecution by Forerunners after they rebelled. Turns
Oh,
out
right, because they were pissy that humans got chosen for the mantle.
Yep.
Okay, I do remember that vaguely from like Halo 5 or something.
Yes. But it turns out, no, they aren't. The dust wasn't corrupted. The flood are precursors. They are the other version of them. So this whole time, they have been advancing other species so that they can consume them to grow themselves. They're essentially Reapers from Mass Effect.
Oh, Terry, no.
Okay.
She's walking across the keyboard.
Oh, I can see. I see a tail. Hello,
So-
tail.
Absolutely huge revelations, but it seems like and the didact himself said, so the ultimate the folly of the mantle of responsibility is to reach for it. By choosing not to reach for it, you get the mantle of responsibility because you reject ultimate power. And I'm just like, well, yeah, no, that is really fucking cool.
To flutter the collector, sure.
Basically.
Can I just say, I don't care about the direction the story's gone with Halo since 343 took over.
Look, I will
I-
say the games
the more I learn about the
themselves-
flood and the more I learn about the Forerunners, it's like, this is better when it was a fucking mystery, man.
I can agree to that, but even back then, there was plenty we knew, but you just had to read the comics and the books. We're just getting more depth to it now, is all. And I think that's perfectly fine.
I like how you're just teasing the cat. It's like, no,
she came
you
over
can't
here
have
trying
this.
to eat my jerky. Or my pepperoni sticks. Or no, my venison sticks. Because I'm hungry. And I forgot I
Anyways.
had these in there, actually. Until I was looking for my dice. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. I have a stash of pepperoni sticks.
What a twist.
Anyways, that's my whole Halo Epitaph thing. Wonderful book. Lots of lore revelations.
See, Halo books are another thing I've always wanted to get into. But, like, there's too much.
There's
Yeah.
not. It's a digestible amount.
Well, the
I
crazy
mean-
thing about Halo in general and its lore is that everything is canon. The games, the books, yes, everything is canon.
Not
Look, my extent of
anymore.
like Halo lore is that when we play Halo 5 and we learn about that ship, or no, when we play Infinite and we learn about that ship, apparently that's the ship from freaking Halo Wars, and that's cool for some reason. That's all I know.
That's another thing that I don't like about how Halo kind of went about its storytelling is like, okay, the main story is in an FPS game, but you have to play this RTS game to actually get the complete story. And I'm like, okay, that's great, but you shouldn't be connecting stories for two completely different types of games.
You say that as if this isn't an interconnected franchise.
Yeah, but I don't know. I know there's a lot of people out there that like Halo Wars. I thought it was just okay. It's certainly not something I would ever go back and play again after playing it the first time.
As a
RTS,
I'm not the biggest fan of it. As a Halo game with the story, holy fuck, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's the only reason I would play it, is because I know I have to play it to understand the stuff that comes after. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like, at one hand, I'm like,
honest.
cool, you're making an interconnected universe, but on the other hand, I don't like playing RTS games.
You don't have to play it. You can just YouTube all the whole game.
Yeah, I can watch all the lore stuff online, I guess, but
And one of the real cool things about Halo Wars is their animations are done by Blur Cinematics, and they are so fucking amazing.
I mean, yeah, they're great. They're great cinematics. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Just the gameplay never was appealing to me.
Yeah, if you don't like the game, just watch YouTube or Twitch, whatever,
Do a Let's Play
for the
or
story.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just watch someone play through it. It's pretty damn worth it.
Okay.
Anyways, that's all I have for Halo.
Oh, is it my turn? Because
Yeah.
if it's my turn, I'm very happy about something. The U.S. government is suing Adobe. Yes! Yes!
I can't believe it's taken them this long to like do something about Adobe and their shitty fucking subscription model services practices.
The amount of artists I saw that day that were celebrating, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Listen, I'm usually not for the government just coming in and taking down companies, but tear that bitch apart. I don't know. So, from what I understand, I haven't read like the entire thing yet, but from how I understand from the articles that I have read, the thing that the U.S. government is suing Adobe, is suing Adobe over is specifically the cancellation fees.
Right.
Because not necessarily because there are cancellation fees, but because of how they're advertised. And by that, I mean not advertised
At all.
Because that's considered a deceptive business practice, which it is. I am hoping, however, if this is the start of like more stuff down the road, because this is a shitty business practice. Don't get me wrong. It is by far not the only shitty business practice that Adobe engages in.
So much more.
Like, I really wish, I hope this kicks off like a thing where more companies are brought to bear on how stupid subscription services or the subscription model is for products. Like, if you buy something, you should own it.
They're not gonna.
And if,
no.
I know they're not going to, but I hope it does. I can still hope that it does, even if it doesn't happen.
You
hope
really,
all you want.
If you really truly want something better, I would recommend looking into anything that's open source, because anything that's open source is free and open to everyone. It's community supported. You know, that's why I went to Godot. It's open source, so I don't have to fucking pay Unity at the arm and a leg to freaking develop games on their platform. So I know like they have a bunch of open source Photoshop wannabes for certain things.
Oh yeah.
You can always just Google that too, like open source Photoshop or something like that.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of them.
I think like
a lot
actually
of
good ones too.
A program that I use and have used for years now is called Paint.net. It is open source. It's also free. It is regularly updated by the team that works on it, but it also has a massive community of people that make plugins for it. And they make plugins that look and act exactly like they do in Photoshop.
Yeah, just like,
and it's as simple as downloading the file, and it's a self-executable install file, and you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, like open source things have gotten a lot better thanks to the internet and people sharing stuff. Like before you had to use like freaking Maya if you wanted to do 3D modeling in the video game industry. Guess what? You can do Blender now. Blender is better.
Yeah.
I like Blender a lot more.
A lot of people use Blender now.
Oh yeah, they use Blender for, I believe, Amazing Digital Circus is done in Blender.
I think you're right. Really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I know that recently Blender has been seeing a lot more use. Like I use Blender because it's free. You can pay for Blender as well if you want to support them.
Yeah.
But you can also just use the free one, and there's no like intrusive ads and no like deceptive like, oh, if you want this, do premium stuff. It's like, nope, none of that. Everything is accessible.
There's also another photo editing program that I've looked into recently. It's called Affinity. Affinity Photo 2 is what it's called. They make some other products too that are like Adobe replacements for other things that they have. It's a one-time purchase thing. And it's laid out a lot like Photoshop is, and they work with like other creative people who create plugins and tools. So they have these on their website that you can download, but if, like, say you wanted like a very specific thing, like one specific tool, they have it on the website where you can download it for just a very small price, and you get to support both them and the people that make those tools.
Oh. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that with Adobe. So I had to use Adobe for certain classes. And yes, I had to use Adobe.
Felt bad, didn't it?
It was god awful. Maya can suck my nuts. But anyway, I forgot to cancel the subscription before it renewed. So they renewed. And I remember contacting them like literally the day of, like, hey, I actually meant to cancel this. I forgot. They're like, well, if you want to cancel it, it's going to be like $325. And I'm like, what? Like, yeah, you already gave us the money. And I'm like, I don't even want a refund. Like, what? Like, I have to pay a fee? Like, what's the actual to cancel? That's insane. Like, what are you talking about? So you're going to charge me more money after I already paid you for the year? Why wouldn't I just write it out for the year then? I already paid you. Like, it wasn't like I was demanding money back. I was just like, hey, I wanted to cancel. And they're like, well, if you want to. So I was like, so, all right, well, what can I do? And they're just like, well, nothing. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to remove all my payment options then. Like, oh, okay. So that's what I did. I removed all my payment options. I was like, try to renew it. There's nothing there. You can't renew it.
There's nothing there.
Yeah. They don't force you to have a payment option. And they just kept sending emails like, hey, you don't have a payment option. I'm like, I fucking know, Adobe. I did that on purpose, you sons of bitches.
Mark as spam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just... I hate that so many pieces of software now have gone to this subscription model. I fucking hate it. Like,
makes
you
money,
should be able
dude.
to... I know it makes money. I absolutely know. And there's the argument to be made that, hey, it goes to support for the development of the product. Okay.
No, it doesn't. Not
then
with
let
Adobe.
people buy
it does
more
not.
of it.
No, it literally does not with Adobe. I know for a fact it doesn't go to... Because, all right.
But I'm not saying just for Adobe specifically. I'm saying in general, you can make the argument that a subscription service goes to do that.
I have the argument because, so Substance, right? Substance Painter, 3D Substance Painter. Use this to paint stuff on 3D models, like for textures and stuff like that, to make it, pretty and have different things and shiny and whatnot. Yep. Substance Painter wasn't owned by Adobe. It wasn't made by Adobe, but they bought it.
Yeah.
And I remember during school, I could still buy Substance Painter, but not the Adobe one. I could still buy just Substance Painter for like, I think $200 or $300 if I wanted
from like their website directly.
From them directly, like I could buy it instead of going through Adobe. Because Adobe, if you get Substance Painter, you have to just pay monthly forever, like $35, I think it was, or $50 a month, or whatever it was, for the, or no, a year, because I had the student discount. I think without the student discount, it's like $35 a month or something. But they literally bought Substance Painter and then didn't roll out anything new and made it any better. They made it worse, actually, by removing certain functions from it. In fact, they did this to Photoshop. They removed functions from Photoshop once they bought Substance Painter, so that way people had to go use and add on Substance Painter. So they do not use the extra money to further development. I can factually prove that to you. I can empirically prove that to you, that Adobe are scumbags.
And I can believe that with Adobe, but I do think there's probably some examples out there you can find, not with Adobe, but with other places that do subscription.
Yeah, I understand that, development teams and stuff like that, but I'm just saying
it isn't
specifically for Adobe, like, because I've had to use Adobe for my game design and stuff like that throughout school. I know so much more about it. I'm more intimately involved, and I hate it.
But I mean,
I can hate the
people try to make that argument, and I'm sure with some companies they do use that, but Adobe doesn't seem like they do. In fact, they think,
Nope.
from what I have seen from people who use it and using the products myself when I was in college, they may have made their products markedly worse over the years, raised their prices, and not changed anything,
Yep.
and then added cancellation fees.
It's a scam.
My God. And the crazy thing to me is, like, people have known this for years. People have been very vocal about this for years. Why is it taking anyone this long to fucking sue their asses?
Look,
They must have great lawyers.
It's not just that. Us in the government, we take our sweet time collecting evidence. And
Well, it's not. So one thing you got to understand though is that a lot of companies, software companies like Microsoft, Adobe, and stuff like that, their main people that give them money aren't regular users. It's going to be other giant companies. You know, people who buy thousands of copies,
Thousands of licenses,
Windows
yeah.
or licenses. So because they buy thousands or tens of thousands at a time, they get cut a special deal where they don't have to pay as much because
bulk
they're-
rate.
Yeah, they've got bulk rate, they've got discounts, so they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like it's not a big problem for them because they, who cares? I get it at a much cheaper price than you would ever get them. That's why websites exist that sell, Windows 11 keys for $5 or $20 when
'Cause they got 'em in
regular, because they got them in bulk. Now some of these companies or websites and stuff are they steal these keys and stuff like that. So I wouldn't recommend people frequent websites that do that.
And some are
there's-
scummy. They will steal your information if you input it in there. If
Yeah,
you buy
like,
it
there's-
from them.
There's the same thing for like game code resellers. Like I think it's G2A that does that. If you go to G2A to buy games, like sure it's cheaper, but they steal those keys. They don't buy
not
their
all
keys.
of them, but you can't verify.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
It's like trying to be
Well,
ethical when you consume stuff is really hard because of things like this, right? Like I know that, for example, like Windows keys, there are people who can get them legitimately at a bulk price discount, so they can sell them. Like they buy them for $5 a copy, and they can resell them for $20 a copy. They'll make a profit. Versus if you buy your own individual copy, Windows wants like $120.
Yeah. Oh, I will say, for anyone out there who is looking for like Photoshop or any other kind of Adobe alternatives, if you join our Discord server, I have pinned in our general chat from a couple of years ago a chart with all of the different free and open source alternatives to different Adobe products. It's been there for almost 2 years for anyone to look at and use. Just saying, if you want to leave Photoshop or Premiere or whatever, there you have alternatives. Listen, if you've been editing videos with Premiere, that's their video editing stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Premiere.
Yes.
Premiere.
Yes.
DaVinci Resolve is pretty fucking good. Just saying, it's what we use.
Yeah, Blackmagic Design is an amazing company, actually. I really like them.
Their cameras are great too.
Now, I'm trying to think of. There's a different program that they have in Adobe now as well for animation. That is pretty good. It's not Premiere. It's something else. Lightroom, I think it is. It's for like smaller edit stuff, smaller, like just quick, easy, not too in-depth stuff.
I don't know. I've never used it, but I'm sure they have it.
Yeah, just like the whole. I had this issue with with updating Adobe, where it's like, yeah, it's just a known thing that in the Adobe Cloud installer, sometimes you can't uninstall stuff.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I had to contact their support to get something uninstalled, and they're like, yeah, this is a problem, so just contact us at support, and we'll send you this executable file that can specifically get rid of the Adobe file for you. And
That's
I'm like,
so bad.
That's terrible design. Jesus, that's bad software design.
yeah, freaking, yeah. I am not a fan of Adobe now.
I don't think there's anyone who really is anymore. Except people that work at Adobe, I guess. I guess they're fans. I wonder, is there even a perk if you work at Adobe that you get to use their stuff for free? I bet there isn't.
I hope
No,
so.
they got to
because-
every time they use it, they got to swipe their badge and they got to pay like
Yeah.
5 cents or something. They got a per use fee at Adobe.
Would you really? Would you hold it, or would you be surprised if that were the case, John? Because I wouldn't.
I mean, I would be, because like, who would want to work for a company that makes them pay money to work there?
Look, a lot of people work jobs just for the paycheck, so
I mean, MLMs exist, so I mean,
Yeah, it's
I mean,
true.
obviously, there are a bunch of people who would pay to work at some place to do a job, but
Anyway, that's all I got for it. I'm gonna be following this as it unfolds. We'll see what comes of it.
yeah, I look forward to
Adobe
the
probably
updates.
has good lawyers, so good luck, U.S. government.
yeah.
Someone needs to get fucking Saul Goodman out of fucking prison.
No, he's in jail, bro. You know, he got caught.
Oh,
That's all I got though. So if you guys want to finish this off, although we have been going for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
say real quick. Furiosa, the movie, was absolutely amazing. Holy shit!
I have no idea what that is.
It's the new Mad Max movie.
Yeah, the
Oh.
Mad Max prequel movie.
Yeah.
What?
Amazing movie, beautiful visual effects, great story. Just everything about it was so fantastic. I am so disappointed that it basically bombed in box office theaters, and just I know. And
I wouldn't
I
say
hate
it bombed. Like, it made 160, and it was a budget of 168. Like, that's
It
just
didn't make
box
its money
office.
back.
Well, it didn't make its money back, but it's pretty close in the box office. I mean, what's the the Blu-ray sales? You know,
It's not out on
It
home
has. It's
video
not
yet.
out yet. Yeah. So I'm hoping
It will be on
that's gonna
streaming
give-
in a couple of weeks.
I'm hoping that gives it a really good bump, because like this was fantastic, and I don't want it to be a failure.
The crazy thing is, like, no, I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to go into it because this will be a 15-hour conversation about how fucking movie theaters are dying. And
I hope
I've
not.
never-
I love going to the movie theaters.
I do
love
too, but you know what?
I've never
It's not
seen
as
a Mad
good as
Max
it used to be.
movie.
You've never seen the original Mad Max?
Neither have I.
know of Mad Max. I've never seen a single Mad Max movie.
Yeah, I've only
Bro,
seen the.
this is why I need to start doing. I need to start doing more watch parties in our server. We watch these good old movies.
Look, there is a literal list of movies I haven't seen, and it's
Bro, give me the
literally
list.
Over
Give me the
It's over-
list.
last it was counted, it was over 3 days long in literal watch time.
Listen, give me
Okay,
the list.
like Citizen Kane. Okay,
Haven't watched it.
Godfather. well,
Haven't
Lawrence of
watched it.
Arabia.
Haven't watched it.
Lawrence in Arabia.
Pink Panther.
What?
The original
You don't
Pink
need to-
Panther is good.
Haven't watched it.
What are some other like must-watch old movies? A French Connection. If you've never seen that movie, that's good. Bullet.
Oh, that's not even in the list. Either of those two.
Shawshank Redemption.
The Shawshank Redemption. Green Mile.
Green
I
Mile's really
I
great. yeah.
might have watched it.
Schindler's List.
Haven't watched
Gone
it.
with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. Yeah, yeah.
That's a 3.5
Might have
hour
watched-
commitment, though.
Might have watched it. Bro, I watched the Lord of the Rings extended edition. I'll easily watch long movies.
Casablanca. That's another great old movie.
Haven't watched it. Look, if this is just gonna be a long list of haven't watched it, let's save ourselves. I'm hungry. I want to go eat.
Listen, I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I
Sign
need
us
to
out.
start.
Sign us out, Alex.
I need to start doing more watch parties with old movies in our Discord server. So, are you guys you want me to sign us out?
Yes, I'm
Yes,
hungry.
please.
All right,
hungry.
awesome. In that case, thank you everyone for stopping by to watch us here tonight. Don't forget to check down below where you can find links to all the stuff Anime Club After Dark does. We also have a Discord server down there you can join as long as you're 18 plus. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you like what you saw, want to see more, it really, really does help us out. With that, I have been your host, Alex, and we will see you next time. Say goodnight, guys.
Come on. Why is your screen all red now?
He turned
I
his
put it
light
to
off.
RGB.
Oh.
Oh, did you do the RGB thing on your ring light?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that it can do that. Sometimes I just turn the light off and it's blue in my room.
Although it's just
Anyway,
neon
bye!
red. Yeah, bye. Bye.
Oh,
Oh, you messed up. He messed
oh
up.
fuck!